Astral Odyssey contains mature themes such as raunchy jokes, intense combat, and colorful language. Everything you'd expect from a space pirate crew. Viewer discretion is advised. Who would like to give us a recap of last session?
I think I might be the only one who still needs a point.
Yes, I have it. I believe it was you and Ren who didn't have it last time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did it last time.
We started last session by doing a bit of renovating on the ship and started making room for a kitchen for our cook to get back to what he loves. And eventually we came upon the first real star system and therefore planets that we could, and we decided to go down to the surface on a relatively unpopulated planet that ended up being a mostly space Hulk junkyard and attempt to find parts to renovate / repair the ship, or really anything we could find. After we landed, we went to the local pub, and as we got there, it turned out a sting was going on, and all hell went to Jesus. Shit hit the fan, and now we are on the run again from authorities and following these supposed convicts to wherever their hideout was.
Yeah, true enough. You all immediately got into trouble the first time you got anywhere close. The first time off of Lumar, you about as straight as you could got into a bit of a scuffle here. You joined the Broderick brothers, Anders and Maddox, and left behind Finn, the chief engineer on Pax, which is the planet that you all were on before. But yes, you all are now joined up with those brothers, and I will actually take us to the system board. So you all can get a better idea of where you're at here. So, the Sacrificium Soleil is currently right over here, inside the asteroid belt that kind of cuts through the center of this little system here. Ignore any planets that, aren't circle-shaped. They're supposed to be. It's hard to make circles. But the Sacrificial Soleil has docked at the Broderick Brothers kind of little asteroid, old mining facility, hollowed out piece of an asteroid that they seem to be using as a bit of a hideout. And you all have just made dock with it. Who all is getting off the ship to go and talk to these people? And who all staying on board?
I'll go and talk.
Yeah, Dee Dee's going. Maybe Ash should stay here.
Nah.
Astra's gonna stay, at the top of the ramp that I presume we have to get off the ship. Just inside the doors, I guess.
Alwyn will put his disguise self back on, so he looks like that half-elf again before he's gonna go.
I will do the same.
Hank is going to stay back with Astrid. Also just keeping an eye on people trying to sneak on board.
I'll have Nadi with us, but I'll also have the gunners still in their spots.
The captain will accompany those going on board. So who all was going on board? It was Alwyn, Ash, Dee Dee. You staying or going?
I was going.
All right, Hank, You said that you're staying
Hey.
with Aster.
Yep.
Okay. So everyone else boards. It kind of stinks here. It kind of smells like a place where a bunch of teenagers and kids would hang out. You see some discarded boxes of some what must be pizza of some kind. It's hard to tell because it's not been thrown out in a while. Trash service apparently doesn't run to abandoned asteroids. But over in the next docking bay, you all exit into this long corridor that leads into this like central common room area, and coming out the door beside you all are the two Broderick brothers and the other three that were with them, those two girls and the other guy, and they all kind of run off into the secret hideout area, but the two Broderick brothers turn and face you all, and the captain steps up beside the rest of you all and looks at these two and then looks back at the three crew members there and is like, all right, so just so I'm clear, you killed lawmen for these two.
We specifically did not kill them.
Right. Horribly maimed. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who exactly did we piss off? She says as she looks over at the Brodericks, and the big Broderick kind of laughs and turns around while the smaller one, Anders, kind of walks over. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure it'll be fine. You have a really nice ship, by the way. I didn't see it before. My God. Starts going off about as they start turning and leading back on into this like common room area, and you all follow through the airlock into the common room that looks like it had been like just a reception area for the company, but there's TVs and some graffiti and just some general hangout vibes to it, with a couple like hammocks and stuff strung up, and a like small computer bank over to one corner behind where the like reception area would have been. And one of the girls is over at the computer terminal, like clicking through a bunch of things, apparently looking at like cameras set up around the like exterior of the asteroid to like view around and stuff like that, and pulling up a map and stuff like that, and checking what seems to be like a local scanner for like transmission signals, almost like a police scanner, while the other two are going around like looking for something amongst all the trash in the room. And the captain kind of snuffs her nose and looks around at everything and says, just kind of under her breath towards you three, like, all right, seriously, these are just fucking punks. Well, how were they in so much trouble with marshals?
Dee crossed her arms and kind of looked at Ash and goes, I don't know. It never came up.
Well, it was sort of a shootout as soon as they walked in the bar. They knew that barkeep that Dee Dee was speaking with, and the way I see it, they owe us big time. If we had simply stand aside, despite there only being two marshals, they looked heavily equipped, and likely would have lost almost instantaneously without our assistance. We should certainly use that in any way we can.
What are they going to give us? Look, they look like they're living off pizza.
Yes, but it also means they would intimately know this scavenging area, no?
The captain like does a grand like by all means Ash like gesture for you to go.
Alright, I'll walk over to them.
Yeah, the two Broderick brothers are cleaning off a table that had a bunch of like spare cups and like takeout on it, and just kind of pushing into the floor. And it looks like it's this map of like the local just the local solar system. It looks like it was used as like an advertisement or something. Like, come work at the Lacros Systems asteroid belt. Great mining opportunities, employment, and 6-month contracts, and all this kind of just advertisement on it. But they've like drawn and made a bunch of notes on it and stuff like that. And they kind of sit around the table as you walk up and like, all right, so yeah, welcome to the Lacus system. You're here, and they kind of point to where you all are currently on the map of that little asteroid belt.
Ash will, still looking like a vegetarian at this moment, with a feathered cap. He'll take it off and do a little flourishing bow and say, "Oh, how rude of me to not introduce myself. My name is Vegetarian, Galactic Connoisseur, and might I say, not a fan of the law."
Is that your ship then?
I am but a humble traveler. The woman over there, as he points back to the captain, she is more or less the captain of the ship and my escort, along with the rest of her crew.
The captain kind of growls, more or less.
Anyways, what were you fine gentlemen up to?
Well, we were just gonna go see Finn. We need some new parts and stuff. Sorry you got caught up with all that the stuff with the marshals there, mates.
Oh, it's no worries at all. You must have known Finn for a long time, and it certainly seemed like he had set you up. You wouldn't happen to know why that would be, would you?
Maddox kind of rolls, like the big beefy one. He kind of sits back and crosses his arm and rolls his eyes, and Anders kind of gives him a nudge and then looks at him. We've been pushing our luck with old Finn for a while there, but he practically raised Anders or Maddox and me. Like, we grew up more or less on PAX, just in one of the, outlying demolition areas, but we have been pushing our luck lately. I'm sure he didn't mean to turn us in. I mean, he said he was sorry, and Maddox kind of growls. And he said he was sorry. He wouldn't have done it if he had a choice, mate.
Yes, unfortunately that is the way of things. When the arm is threatened to be twisted off, you have no choice but to comply. I'm all too familiar. But, correct me if I'm wrong, you two seem a little down on your luck. And, as I happen to know, some people who are down on their luck know places where they wish they could be. Places that were a bit better off. We are travelers and are new to this system, as you can tell. You wouldn't happen to know of a higher austerity places, would you?
Yeah, I mean, and they kind of point on the map towards this kind of desert ball-looking planet. It's you saw it on your all's map as you were coming in. It seems to be largely red dust, but a very large planet, and there were signs of habitation on it. You all were just coming in from the side closer to the junk planet, and they pointed to that. That's Zavir, which is the most populated world. You probably wouldn't want to go there now, though. That's where the marshals and Davith and everything are based out of.
Davith?
Oh, yeah, you all. So this entire area is kind of ruled by Davith. He calls himself a king. He's not a fucking king, first off. I knew that son of a bitch when he was just a mayor on Davith. He thinks that he got some big guns and so he can just call himself a king, do whatever he wants. But yeah, he kind of runs the show over there now. And then, I mean, you also have Agast up here, and they point to the kind of green, very fertile-looking planet. Goes, that one was colonized a bit later, but it's an agro world now mostly. Lots of plantations and stuff. Not really many big cities. They keep things pretty small there.
I see. Interesting. And I assume that there were run-ins with this would-be king, and that is what got you in trouble with the law?
He just likes flexing when he can, and Davith just he likes people under his thumb. He's one of those bully types, you know. And so when me and Maddox here, we didn't want to work on a plantation, we didn't want to be in one of the fucking mines on Zavir, we didn't want to keep working in the toxic waste of Pax, and he uses the marshals to keep people local, we'll say.
Understood. Now, you seem like scrappers, scavengers, people who understand how to keep things together, even by the skin of your teeth. I have a friend who she is quite knowledgeable with technology and doing such things. I believe she may have a few questions around about maybe some scrapyards or some such. Would you be willing to entertain her for me?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you saved our lives back there. I mean, if they would have taken us, I mean, they would have sold us off to one of the plantations for sure. So anything you need.
Didi! You're going to see Ash kind of wave you over.
Dee kind of scrunches a nose and looks up at the captain and goes, "It's talking to me. Do I have to?"
You say it to the captain?
Yeah.
She goes, does that, if it gets us out of here quicker, just go.
All right.
She's like tried to like sidestep a puddle of something.
Dee walks, kind of crossing half the distance. What? And she almost says Ash, but stops herself and goes, "What? Veg?"
Didi, if I am not mistaken, there were some sort of dits and bobs and tits and tats that you were looking for on that planet before we were rudely interrupted by the marshals. These two here might be able to tell you more about what might be in this system around the various planets, if there is something in particular you were looking for, yes?
She kind of thought about it a moment and was like, "Well, the scrap planet we were on was a good place to start because most things there look intact, but we really do need things to retrofit parts of our ship."
Oh yeah, plenty of stuff like that on PAX. Like I was saying, me and my brother Maddox here grew up around PAX. We know our way around better than Finn does.
I have an idea,
She
Dee
kind of
Dee.
nodded and said, "Well, if you can just show us where to look."
I mean, the place might be swarmed with marshals now, but we could, take you wherever you. Depends on what you need. There's different sections of the planet for different stuff.
I mean, Dee was kind of hesitant. She's not really wanting to fully disclose all the things they want to change on their ship, especially if they're trying to blend in and conceal who they are. It would be really bad to be like, "Yes, this specifically is what I want to change." But she kind of thought about it for a second, how she was going to word it, and she goes, "Well, she is a beautiful ship, yes, but there are some things that I need done to the side panels and not too much of the interior components, but some. Forgive me, but I value our privacy."
Anders kind of puts his hands up and goes, "Oh yeah, I mean, of course, we appreciate that. I mean, I can tell you some like general areas, but if you're looking for something like in particular, I could point you more directly. But I mean, I know of a couple like ship graveyards that you might be able to pick through. None of them are flyworthy, or we would have, already scrapped it or sold it off. But lots of parts on them.
She nodded. If you can just show me to where some of the bigger and better wrecks are, I should be alright with that. And yes, I'm sure the planet is crawling with marshals by now. It'll probably have to wait until things quiet down before we at least go back.
As you all are having this conversation back aboard the Sacrificium Soleil, Aster, you get a comm from Nadi, who says, I am picking up a couple long-range signatures coming closer. And about that same time, there's also a beep from the console within the hideout area where one of the girls is, Natalie, I think is the one that you all had met, was typing on something, and there's a red blinking alert. She goes, "Hey, some coppers coming near." And she starts hitting switches and turning everything off, going completely dark in that kind of middle area there. What are you doing aboard the ship, Aster, when you get that news?
I did have the same idea, so I'm going to, I guess, message her back and be like, turn everything off, including all electrical systems. I'll make sure that the crew quarters are taken care of. And yeah, it's basically the same direction, just do a full shutdown.
Sure. So yeah, the only light in the kind of common area that you all are in, as everyone kind of hushes for a moment and just kind of watches, is a single screen on that still has that like flashing red bar that says signatures near, and it kind of just has a overlay map of the kind of local area of the asteroid belt with kind of insert images of cameras throughout that they have like placed on different asteroids like near the base. And there's just a half-held breath for a moment when you all see the first shadow of a ship pass over one of the views of the camera. And we are going to roll something really quick. Okay. Someone from the Sacrificium Soleil, roll a d20 for me.
I believe in you, Atreyu.
Damn, Kai's on a dark ship alone.
16, okay.
I would assume we left Kai with Benna or somebody.
Yeah, Kai's with Iga right now.
Yeah.
You all don't know what's happening with Kai, but Aster, would you be anywhere near where Kai is while this is going on? Hank?
I would
Probably would.
Oh, go for it, Hank.
Hank would if Aster's manning the console and keeping an eye on the ramp. But if otherwise,
I'm gonna say I'd probably end up on the bridge, looking out all the windows to see the ships, like with my own eyes. Is probably where I would end up after making sure everything was shut down.
Okay. As the lights turn off, Kai, you know how most of the time when light leaves an area, there's just that kind of blanket of dark. There's nothing to reflect light. Kai doesn't seem to suffer from that effect. It's almost like he absorbs the darkness, and you can see him as if he's still fully lit, but he's the only thing like that around. So it's a very weird perception thing to see of this fully lit, normal looking child that's kind of just floating around in midair as everything else is pitch black. But they seem to be having the time of their life right now. They don't seem to mind at all.
I'm gonna try and see if I can get him to play hide and seek with me and just to dim himself.
Okay.
I'm gonna
give me a persuasion check.
He is going to make you disappear.
Well, that's a 26. I almost rolled in that one.
26. Nice. Is a 26 a nat 20 or a 19 for you?
19.
Ooh. Okay. What are you doing to present this to Kai for me? I want to. What does Hank do?
Oh, he's going to like grab a like apple, and he's going to like just shake it in front of Kai's thing first, or in front of his eyes, and then he's going to like cover it. Say, "Oh, where's the apple? Where's the apple?" And then he's going to put it away, and now he's going to say, "Now, Kai, yeah." He's going to like put a tarp over himself, and then he's going to try and like hide and say, "Kai, find me," or like knowing that he can't understand him, but like he's going to try and like run away and then like get out of
Oh, for sure.
sight from him.
Yeah. Kai takes to this game immediately and turns the both of you invisible.
God, fuck. You know, spirit of the thing.
And then occasionally Kai will like pop out of invisibility just laughing really big and then pop you out and then go invisible again. You effectively have greater invisibility cast on you right now, by the way.
I appreciate it. I'm just gonna keep trying to find him. It's like this is a terrible idea. I cannot tell the captain what I've done.
Let me write down greater invisibility.
Oh no.
All right. So yeah, that's happening on the ship while you all are in the hangout lounge watching these cameras. You see that shadow pass over one of the first cameras, and then on a second one you see the edge of a kind of nasty looking warship, you would guess, but it's kind of like a put together one. It doesn't look like super fancy or top of the line. It looks like several generations old, just retrofitted with like specific regalia and some meaner weapons. And it seems to be in a slow patrol. Occasionally you hear a rumble somewhere in the asteroid field and see that from one of the cameras they're shooting at asteroids occasionally, either to move them out of the way or to check them if anyone is in them. But they are moving closer. So what is everyone doing right now?
Good question.
The three of you in the center room, are you all saying anything or just waiting to see what happens?
Is this normal for y'all?
What'd you say? Is this an oil field?
This is normal for y'all.
Oh, they'll say, they've done passes by before. They've never found us though.
Right. Is our ship in danger?
You had to kind of enter that hole at the angle, so as long as they're not at a very specific side, they shouldn't be able to see. And Anders kind of looks back, or you don't even need to roll an insight check. With your passive insight, you can tell he is a bit nervous.
Right.
And what's your contingency plan?
Run away.
I take it there's no back way out of this asteroid.
No, there's no back way. I mean,
Don't
we
look
have
at me like that. Halflings always have a contingency plan.
we have a couple bikes, but that could get us. I don't know what you all would do with your big ship.
How big are these ships?
The one like moving through the asteroid field right now.
Yeah.
It seems battleship size. It's comparable to the size of your all ship. It's hard to get a good measure of it because you're only catching angles of it on the like radar and stuff like that, and from the cameras you don't have a flat shot of it, so it's hard to see. But it seems about the same armament and size as your all's.
Well, they're probably not going to want to wiggle too close like we got.
Okay, you're all just gonna wait it out.
Alan's going to light a smoke and look at the captain. Well, what you itching?
The captain is watching the screen, just studying it for a minute, and says, how many of those ships do they have around here? And Anders looks back over his shoulder and goes, they've been making more, but 12, 13 maybe? And the captain kind of nods and says, are other ones checking the asteroid field too? And he shrugs. She goes, shit. I don't feel like our go-to should be blast our way through it. We probably could, but if there's more of them close by, that gets hairy for us pretty quick.
Dee Dee kind of shook her head. We should just wait a moment, Captain. For all we know, they'll keep going.
The captain nods and says, let's be close to the ship regardless, in case we need to jet. Alright, you can come with us. You're gonna help us get what Dee Dee needs off the planet, right? And the Broderick brothers nod, and Natalie and the other two are like, why are we going with them? We're safer here. Let's just chill here. And if you all don't want to come, you don't have to. And the three of them kind of look at each other like, this is getting a bit too hot for us, boys. We'll just sit this one out if that's okay. And the Broderick brothers nod, and they all say their goodbyes, and everyone heads back to the Soleil to kind of wait it out and watch from the monitors there. The ship gets closer. The spot checks on different asteroids seems random, and largely ones that are in their path. But there is a long-held breath as you can feel the shattering of a nearby asteroid, and some of the chunks hits the one that you all are on, kind of sending you a bit drifting and tilting over to one side. And that momentum is felt by everyone on the ship as you all start to turn away from where this ship is. And there's a half second. Yeah.
Oh, can I make an insight if it's actually random?
Sure.
Or some type of roll?
I'll say insight works, sure.
If they're actually shooting things at random, that is a 22.
No. It seems like they're breaking up bigger rocks.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. You're not sure if this constitutes a big enough rock for them to break up, though. It's a fairly large one. But the ship gets closer, and there is a massive shuddering of the asteroid you all are on as it is hit on the opposite side, and there's a crack that you all can hear and just feel as a shift in the asteroid breaks a part of it off. But the ship continues to fly. It doesn't seem to pause and check through the asteroid, and whatever this little base is far enough on the opposite side and on one of the chunks that it is okay currently. But the chunk that you all are on is now kind of spinning away into the asteroid belt a bit. So, as you all are spinning through space slowly, the captain orders all lights back on as the ship passes, and you all wait another 5 or 10 minutes. The little asteroid you're on kind of hits against a smaller one and robs it of some of its momentum, and you all just kind of drift for a second on this smaller chunk of the mining base that you all were on. The ship's still docked and everything dark until the captain satisfies that it's passed and orders all lights back on. What's everyone doing on board the ship now? Kai and Hank are nowhere to be found, by the way.
I think what Ash is gonna do is he's going to kind of make a bit of a show in front of these two scrappy boys and say, well, That's enough excitement for one day. It's time for my afternoon nap. I shall bid you adieu. And he's gonna go back to his quarters and just drop the disguise, returning to regular Ash.
Okay, for sure.
Aster is probably Hank. Aster is probably sitting like at the stairs, at the bottom of the stairs, like right next to the engines leading up to the thing, and he's just there to basically shout orders to the crew. Still kind of in the mindset of having to do that from the boat, I guess, in case there was a chance of combat.
Hank was just going to be occupying Kai until he sees the captain is alone before he would take her to her. Sorry.
Dee Dee would probably assume a seat at I'm guessing there's some kind of system / engineering station there by or close to the pilot seat, so that's where Dee Dee would find her post at.
Sure. The captain sees you bringing Kai, and she makes very purposeful, dramatic eyes towards the two new people sitting on the ship. It's like, "Hi, Hank."
I'm still invisible, aren't I? We're both still invisible.
Oh, yeah, I guess you
yeah, they
would
have
be.
a great invisibility.
So
yeah, the moment I see that there's other people, I'm just gonna turn around and say, "Hey, Kai, you wanna?" Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, pull out ice. Is there any any kind of suite on this fucking godforsaken ship?
There's plenty of sweets inside the automat.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and distract Kai with sweets and then take him away from this group.
Okay. Sure, you're on babysitting duty as you take Kai somewhere else, and the captain shakes her head as you walk away. All right. She says, "Okay, boys, would you all mind? You can help yourselves to some of the machines down in the hall there. I need to talk to the crew real quick." And the Broderick brothers, who had already been eyeing all of your arcade machines, yeah, we could do that. And quickly go to places though, as the captain says, I don't give a shit about the local politics of this place and what they're doing, whatever. Let's get the parts we need and get the fuck out of here. I don't know if you all have noticed, but this little cluster here is not big enough to constitute a trash planet. So this has to be a way stop for something bigger that's using this place as a dump. And I don't personally want to hang around long enough to figure out what that is. So, Dee Dee, while they're not here, let's get the list of what we need. So that way we can go, get in, get out, drop these two off somewhere, and boogie.
Dee Dee kind of tapped her chin. Well, that is something that we haven't super really discussed, is it, Captain? I know there are several key things that we should change on the ship. Part of the wing design can absolutely be changed in a hurry. A lot of these ships are built modular, so to speak. You could just rip these wings off and put new ones on. But I know a lot of what's going to give us away is the different interior components of the ship. So my question is, Captain, is how much do you want it to change? Our engines are also a dead giveaway, but... And she kind of looked back at him and she was like, but I think if I...
They're really good engines, aren't they?
She sighed. Yeah, that's the thing. I think if I tweak the design just enough that we could pass them off as custom work. And she kind of shrugged, and honestly, if I change them enough, it will be custom work.
What were you going to say, Alan?
Well, some of the modifications you're proposing there sound a little in-depth as well, not quite so much as unplug and plug in.
Dee Dee kind of tilted her head and she was like, you've never seen a ship being built, have you?
I've seen my fair share of them being blown apart.
A lot of the bigger warships are designed for hollow wings, if you will, for storage or fuels or pipes or whatever, but a lot of these ones, and she kind of tapped the table, these cruise ships, like I said, they're modular. When you unplug them, when you look at the side, you'll just see a bunch of holes for all their plugs and bits. You just plug compatible new ones on.
Right. Compatible. This right here is a top of the line custom job. So I'm just saying, if you're gonna try and find something compatible in a junkyard,
She kind of put her fist in her palm and smiled, and she goes, "Alwyn, I grew up on a drifter colony. We can make anything work with anything."
I mean, if you're confident, I'm just, throwing out 2 bits.
I'm confident. I can make it work. But other than that, and she kind of looked back at the captain, I'm not sure what else would give us away.
Well, if anyone got on board, they could check some serial numbers and stuff, and there's not too much we can do about the bones of the thing. We could try to cover some of it, but as long as the outside isn't recognizable, that's all we really care about, right?
Well, and truly, Captain, when they compare the interiors of ships, they're going off of blueprints. So, the people who manufactured this for our friend that we stole it from, to verify that it was his, they would have to come in and compare the layout to what they have on record. If we change this enough, and she kind of, made a gesture back to Alwyn, your kitchen, for example, there's no mention anywhere of this ship having a fully functioning galley on it. That already says that it's not the ship they're looking for.
Right. Okay. Then let's look for things to make the galley. Let's figure out something else to put in that other wing then, yeah? Maybe another officer quarters or hold or whatever we need. Let's see if we can just mount some superficial stuff on the outside too. Maybe we can get some, just things that change our profile a bit, and that might be enough for that. I would like to see if we can find any heavier weaponry while we're out, though. We really only have these pea shooters on the thing.
Aye, Captain, we can do that. I don't know if we'll be able to have them come into the interior, though. I mean, collapse when we don't need them. They might just be stationary on the outside.
Yeah, that's better that way.
Yeah, we'll see what we can work with. Next big thing is we're just gonna drop on packs and do this, and we're gonna try to do it without getting caught by these marshals, right? I don't feel like waiting around here forever to get caught by these guys eventually, so I guess sooner rather than later, but we're putting a big target on ourselves as it is, aren't we?
Well, if we can hold them back up here, Captain, I can change out these wings in space.
Yeah, we'll just have to get the things we need on board at least. First mate, quartermaster, what else do we need? What supplies are necessary?
Well, I can't speak for our supplies. However, they did tell us of a verdant planet that is lowly populated but high in agriculture. So any food supplies or things of that nature, once we leave this planet, we can head there and resupply before leaving the system entirely.
The biggest thing does seem to be food and water. We can exist on what we have, but it would be better if we had substance. to say the least.
Alright, so we need to go to the trash planet. We need to grab stuff to retrofit a ship. Then we need to cross back through the asteroid belt, catch up with the aggro world, and I'm guessing steal, because I don't imagine we're going to be bothering much. So steal food and water, and then jet before any of the marshals show up. That seems easy, right?
If I may, Captain, if you send a smaller party down on the bikes to the agricultural world, we could be able to trade with them.
Will the bikes be able to carry back everything we need for it?
If they could tow it. You could put a net and a tether on the back of one of those bikes. Like, how
Sure.
much is gravity influenced when they're in the ethereal space? Like,
Yeah, but enough water for everyone might end up weighing the most, more so than the food products.
but things are
Also the
weightless in
inertia.
space.
I think it's getting on the planet and then trying to get off the planet into space.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You're actually not sure if the bikes by themselves can make Atmo landing. You've only ever done it on the lander before. And I
Dee
don't
shrugged.
think we've ever had to decide if that works or not.
Dee shrugged. Well, I suppose we'll have to steal it then, but I was really trying hard not to.
Oh, we can leave some gold coins or some payment in our wake.
Alright, so before we undock from here and start going to do something stupid, any really good ideas for how to avoid the marshals while we're out? Gosh, I don't like that silence, y'all.
Well, no one seems to be liking my ideas as of late, so I am staying silent.
Oh, come on, Ash. You're my first mate. Come pitch it. If you got an idea, let's hear it.
Well, I had a good look at those individuals, and you know me. I'm a people person.
Ah,
Okay.
I can disguise myself as one of them. If they track our ship, it's going to be much harder. But face to face, it shouldn't be a problem. That being said, I don't have much in the way of a plan for avoiding their ships entirely.
well, I mean, I already know you don't like my plan, but I say we just go ahead and remove the Dabith dude. Just go ahead and remove him, and then we just become, heroes of the sector, and we move along.
Alright, so... Captain just sighs like... So when I said I don't want to get involved in the local politics, killing the king is kind of what I was talking about there, Alwyn.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wasn't really going to say anything. But then you had that disappointed look on your face when nobody really spoke up. So I was just like, all right, I mean, I'll throw it out there. The third bit for the two earlier.
Let's keep regicide as a distant option.
He's not a real king. I mean, come on now. He was a mayor like 2 months ago, it sounds like.
Only politically motivated assassination.
No, but it sounds like he's got people in like indentured servitude. So, I mean, that doesn't really sound all that nice either.
Yeah, but we're also not Robin Hood out here, Alwyn. We're not trying to free the poor wretches. We're trying to not be found.
I think, as Ash suggested, the best course may be to use people who would not have been seen on the last planet. Hank, no, Hank is always compromised, but Dee Dee was seen. Veg, I suppose, was seen. And Alouin was seen.
Well, as this current look, yeah.
True. But either more disguises or mayhaps give Nadi or Vena, depending on how friendly the location seems, might be the way to go.
I'm also fairly good with my disguise kit. I did help with our original ship on Numar. If we need to disguise our officers, certainly not beyond my capabilities.
Well, I think that all is a decent idea, sure. We didn't see what they were using for transport, did we? Did you all see it on the planet?
The Marshals? No.
Would we have seen ships coming in as we were leaving?
Did not see anything that the marshals would have arrived in on. There were only like drone piloted stuff. And you didn't see anything entering the place as you all left, because from the time they called in to the time you all left was about 45 seconds, I think, by turn order. You all were pretty quick to leave.
I think Ash will suggest, well, I can speak with the brothers. They sound like they have an intimate relationship with the marshals. I can try to forge some documents based on the information they give me. Maybe even come up with an officer's code name or reference number, should it really be possible. So we'll at least have a more thorough, say, a ship pretending to have the marshal's officers on our ship, as though they were investigating it, should they try to stop us.
The captain thinks that over for a bit and says, well, so the two marshals would have reported you all, but we're not sure if they saw the Sacrificium Soleil at all yet, right?
Correct.
They didn't even see our shuttle.
Unless they saw it whenever you all left.
Well, the one guy was a mess on the shop floor, and then the other guy was a mess out in the mud and the rain. So I'm gonna go on Chance's side and say they didn't get a good look.
They were alive, but they were pretty badly beaten, and it was storming. The chance that they saw our shuttle and got a good look at it, let alone the entire ship, is very slim.
Well, maybe we should ask those boys then, and if they don't have any way to have tracked us, this makes this a bit easier at least. So the captain will call in the two Broderick brothers from downstairs, and they'll come up, and you all will basically lay that out of like they might have seen the shuttle. Is there any other way they could have seen the ship? And Xander kind of like, oh yeah, here, pull up a map real quick. And he has you all like just pull up on one of the consoles a map of the local system again, and he says, so you know how I told you they like to keep people local? That takes work to do, and part of it is this, and he kind of points out, you can't really notice them because it's just small space rocks more or less that are kind of floating, but once he starts connecting them around this entire system is almost like a little like net or a bubble of different like asteroids that are set up, or like different little pieces of just like space debris. And he says, this is the net. They probably clocked you as soon as you crossed over it, but anything going in and out, they'll be able to tell its position. It's just like a really simple, like, radar thing. It's just if anything is passing by any of them, but they're pretty quick to respond to it. Most of those outposts have small fighters on them that they can send out, but they'll pull a lot of resources really quickly if they sense something trying to leave. Yeah, the captain looks at the map and goes, fuck. So
my plan's looking better, Captain.
What information would they have gotten on us? And the brothers kind of shrug and say, I mean, from what we know, they just would have seen the ship, just what it looks like you're heading. Probably knew whenever you made landfall to Pax. They mostly monitor things. People come into trade and stuff like that. I mean, Zavir is a pretty populated planet, so they don't restrict that. And as long as you have the right passcodes to leave, then you're good. But they do make sure. Well, yeah, you have to get order signed by Davith, so.
So, we either get some codes or we run a blockade, so to say.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as you all came in and you were clean, I mean, there's no reason they wouldn't have been paying any particular attention to you until you kind of dropped off the map. But once you're in, it's hard for them to keep track of you, so. They would have known you entered and probably headed towards Pax, but everything else, it's kind of guesswork.
It sounds like we may actually be in the clear. They wouldn't have known any intentions of ours, and we didn't cause any trouble until we were we were already in the net.
The captain kind of gives you a look, Ash. Roll an insight check for me.
Okay. Seven.
Hard to read her expression. She doesn't look happy.
Meh.
But it doesn't seem like she wants to say what she has on her mind in front of these guys.
Well, boys, is it possible that you would have some semblance of knowledge about the officers or the marshals? Perhaps how one might forge some documentation or badge numbers, or present themselves as though they were a marshal to fool others? Should we have to communicate with them?
Anders smiles and gives you a wink. That, my friend, is my speciality.
As it is mine. It sounds like we have some talking to do, but let us leave that for later, when the group discussion has concluded.
Captain Oz, all right, boys. What's their search pattern going to be like? How many of these ships? When can we go back to Pax? How long should we avoid it? And the two kind of look at each other for a minute, and Maddox shrugs his massive shoulders, and Andrew goes, hard to say. We've never been in this much trouble, exactly. So, I wish I could give you a better answer, but it's probably dangerous no matter where you go for a minute. I wouldn't advise laying low for too long, because if they're knowing to check this as quickly as they are, they're probably going to give it a once-over again. The captain kind of nods and says, all right, I'd rather be in motion than not anyway. I think we can outrun most stuff. Maybe we just take a lap, start heading closer to Pax, but stay out of the way and see if we can get a good scan on it from a distance.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right, helmsman, take us out. And she has the two Broderick brothers leave, but holds everyone else back for a second. Says, if they saw us come in, we have an incredibly wanted ship. We're far out, but if Davith is intelligent by any measure, he might have seen this and knows that we're wanted and worth a lot of money.
That is certainly true.
I thought the sensors just said, "Oh, a ship came through." I didn't think it gave such detailed information. Or am I thinking wrong?
I believe the brothers said that they would know what the ship looked like.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like we need to kill Davith.
God damn it.
You do have to keep one thing in mind, Captain. We haven't been here long, but, as the brothers did say, they would send a quick response. So either they will be here soon, or he is waiting for something else.
That seems like just as good a time as any. As Dee Dee on your engineering monitor, you see a all channels message coming out that you can accept.
Dee Dee?
Dee Dee, knowing that, it seemed very much like a incoming only and not like a two-way phone call or anything. She went ahead and clicked accept on the screen.
You throw it up to the larger monitor on the bridge here. Just the officers right now are up there, and you all see on the prompter a very refined looking gentleman. He's got large mutton chops, but it's all gray with a large full head of gray hair that's all kind of slicked back. It's kind of near shoulder length and a bit oily, but slicked back against the back of his head. He's wearing like a black suit with a bit of a ruffle up in the collar. He presents himself as kind of like a trash royalty in a way where, he has that bearing of someone that is a scraper and not really regal, and has kind of fought his way to being in charge of stuff. But he is seated in front of what looks like a very high and noble like leather seat and a big dark wood desk, and his hands are folded in front of him with several large rings across them. I am Davith, the ruler of this sector. I would like to speak with whatever ship recently entered our sector in a parley, a meeting of goodwill and kind gesture. You can respond on this frequency. You have my word, you will not be harmed and will be able to go free if you will meet in peace. Otherwise, it will not be so peaceful of a meeting. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And it signs off.
'Cause that's not a trap.
I want to kill him.
Quite a way with words, that one.
What an upstanding gentleman. I bet he would go nicely on a campfire.
The captain says, I really don't want to kill a king, you guys.
Oh, I'm fine with letting sleeping dogs lie. I just wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, we could like test the snare.
It's crazy to go and meet with him. That's absolutely not going to happen.
Oh, I wouldn't say we go meet him. I mean, we take a shuttle out and just respond to the frequency.
She thinks for a second. Is like, hey, Dee Dee, is there any way that you could scramble a response if we sent one? Have it appear like it's coming from somewhere else.
Dee Dee kind of looked at the monitors a little bit inside, and she goes, "Yeah, Captain, I could rig it up to do that. It's just, I don't think it's wise to confirm our presence, if that makes sense. Like, this is one of those messages that, you are, and you know it's you. So I just..."
That's what makes it so fun, short stack.
She kind of scrunched her nose. I think this is why halflings live longer than some elves.
Yeah, you just don't have as far to duck under the gunfire.
She's gonna pick up something from the desk and throw it at him.
The captain doesn't seem to be paying attention to you two, like fighting back and forth. She's just kind of sitting in the captain's chair with one leg kind of propped up and her arms crossed, kind of looking out towards just space in front of her, and she says, "Yeah, fuck, I don't like him either." All right, hypothetically, if we were going to kill a king, how would we do it?
I mean, there's always playing possum.
Well, how would you... Captain, are you familiar with castles?
Yeah?
Siege tactics.
You want to build a battering ram?
No, Captain. The way... You cannot get through a fortress's walls, so you get them to come out of their walls. You do this by starving them, by robbing them of resources, or by goading them out of their walls through some level of disgrace or insult to one's honor.
Or bait.
Dee threw her arms up in the air. You all can't be serious. You really can't be serious right now. This is obviously a trap. I understand wanting to respond to the message, maybe, but actually going there?
No, I'm suggesting nothing of going to that planet. I'm saying we should find if, again, hypothetically, we wanted to radically change the system, we would do it by getting him to leave that planet into a spot that is far more advantageous to us. Going to him would be certain death, by all accounts, in every universe.
But neither is our job. This system isn't our job. If they want to do something about it, then they should do something about it.
This is, I think, entirely a get in and get out situation. We have no need to do anything here other than restock and leave.
Yeah, that's the thing there, Aster. That fella right there, I'm pretty sure he just goaded us to talking to him. If not, he knows we can't really leave without him knowing, and he'll be hot on our tail. So you either look at the tiger, or you hope the tiger don't get you on your way out.
Yes, and
I think Dee Dee's point is that there is not a ton of there isn't a good particular reason for us to get overly involved in that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dee Dee, but it was based on the appearance of our ship that we were noticed and can be tracked easily, and with the parts that we would find, you would be able to change that.
Well, we would still show up as an anomaly if that is how the scanners work, this net that they were telling us about. But the only anomaly would be that we're an unknown ship leaving, something that they didn't catch on the way in. But anyone at the desk could assume a sensor glitch or anything else.
And that comes to the major point then. As fun as it would be to torch this entire system to its fundamentals and core, I think we should stay on the course of the junk planet, allowing Dee Dee to work her magic hands, and then taking what we need from the agricultural planet and leaving. After all, I'm sure that king is wild in riches, but there are easier fish to fry with more meat.
That's all well and good, but we're still going to have to at least throw him some chum in the water to keep him swimming in circles.
And we will come to that when it is necessary. As of right now, it is not.
Really? I thought the call out right there was him snapping.
That was him throwing a dart blindly at a dart.
He is the
If
one
he knew
with
where
the chum
we
in the
were,
water.
he would just come and get us.
May I offer?
Oh, no.
If we ditch our old parts in space or on one of these asteroids, and then, make it look like an impact site, we could make everyone think we crashed.
Do you think then it's possible, following that same plan, of answering the broadcast with some type of scrambler on an asteroid of our choosing, or asteroid belt section? Give them a place to center on, and having that deception of a crash.
The captain, who has been listening this entire time, just kind of listening, goes, first off, yeah, I agree. We need to dip and run. He's an asshole, but we need to go. Second, I like that idea, Ash. What if we sent a signal that we wanted to meet them, and she just kind of shrugs and like points somewhere over here in the asteroid field and says, we'll say that we'll meet them there in a day, and we'll come in peace and even bring the Broderick brothers or whatever as a token of our whatever. We use that as time to get to PAX and then make our way towards the aggro world.
I find that to be good.
Aye, Captain, we can make that work.
I do not think it is necessary, but do it if you think it is.
I think they'll be looking for us, and if we could just give them an area not around us to be looking for us, that'd be more helpful. If nothing else, and they just send a couple ships to watch that area, then that's 2 more ships we don't have to deal with. Okay, so the plan is hatched. Dee Dee, you're going to start trying to figure out a way to send a kind of scrambled broadcast from somewhere not your location, responding and trying to get a call back on that message. What is everyone else doing right now as you all are preparing to... I'll say that you all have already undocked, but you're kind of just going through the asteroid belt, trying to like not stay in one place for too long, but staying in cover most of the time until you decide to. You're kind of heading in the general direction of PAX, though, moving opposite of where that ship was searching for you all. So what's everyone else doing on board during this like hour or two it takes Dee Dee to put this together?
Island's steering the ship, so he's moving about with that.
I'm having a chat with one of the brothers about the forgery stuff.
Yeah, Anders, you can absolutely have that conversation. You can basically learn about what like it seems like Anders has been doing this for a long time, like a kid that grew up like trying to pickpocket people and stuff like that, and started getting in trouble with the law the first time he tried to impersonate one of them to buy something from Xavier. So he knows a lot of like the way that their information works and stuff like that, when they were just kind of like they used to be just the private police force of Davith, but expanded to be a entire like organization. It's basically like Pinkertons that work directly for Davith.
Gotcha. Yeah, start working on that and getting figuring out a code name, I think Ash is going to develop a new gruff, rowdy, but also like kind of militant personality. He's just kind of like, oh yeah, my name's Sarge. Got a private Griff and a private Simmons that I boss around. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Anders is totally into it. He's like, absolutely, yeah. Try to have a bit more depth, like kind of let your words stick in your mouth a bit more.
What, like this?
Yeah.
I'm a captain. Captain Sarge.
Oh, that sounds just like one of his boys. Yeah, for sure.
You could be Griff, and your brother, he could be Simmons.
Maddox kind of shakes his head. I'm not Simmons.
Alright, fine. You can be Griff, and he can be Simmons.
Yay.
I don't care.
Anders goes, God, fine, I'll be Simmons.
Everyone fucking hates Simmons.
Alright, what's everyone else up to?
Asta will probably. God damn it, Hank.
I swear everything will lie. It's not on purpose. You go first.
Asta is probably down in the vehicle bay, making sure that the not the bike, the actual lander, is like refueled and able to be used again.
Yeah, for sure. You can be doing that. Hank.
Hank is mostly trying to get the tie to the captain in a way that either of the brothers don't see him, so that she can keep a closer eye on him without, Kai causing other issues and them not knowing about Kai.
Sure, give me a stealth check.
Okay, that's this time it's gonna be amazing. Trust.
Trust.
There's no trust here.
Well, you shouldn't have any trust. That's an 8.
Kai is not interested at all in being stealthy, and each time you try to like pick him up and carry him somewhere, he just stops you from doing that and moves away from you instead, and just kind of like circles around you. You could try to like tempt him up by like playing and stuff like that, but there's a lot of flashing lights in that arcade, and you're pretty sure that both the brothers see Kai, but they just kind of stare for a minute like, oh, floating baby, and keep doing, like, Anders and Maddox are still having a conversation with Ash, so they're not like diverting to like pay attention too much, but they do see him.
Alwyn's gonna come back to Dee Dee as she's working. Hey, short stack.
Yes, Alwyn.
Well, in a previous life, if you're just looking for hints and tips and what works, we used to drop buoys along the Astral Sea, and we would just kind of bounce our signal off of those to kind of make a static.
Cry, baby, cry. Make your mama sigh.
I'm familiar with it, Alwyn.
Just giving a hint.
No, I appreciate it. My plan was to more or less also use the asteroids. Their presence and what they're made of is pretty good for bouncing signals off. It'll be like, what are those things called? It'll be like light hitting a disco ball.
What's disco? Is that something little people do?
I don't know. A traveler told me about it once. She went back to pushing buttons on the computer.
All right then.
Okay, Dee Dee, let's do a kind of tinker roll here to see what you can come up with and how well this will work. Give me just a flat D20 plus your tinker's toolkit. So you're going to add your proficiency and your intelligence. So flat D20 plus 7.
sorry, the cat was on my dice again. That usually happens. Oof, that's an 8 plus 7, so 15.
15? Okay.
It's not bad.
No, it's not. It was just, bad on the dice. That's all.
Sure. Yeah, you're able to put something that will be effectively that suggestion. You can kind of fix up a small, literally like a cooler that had been for like just party supplies and stuff like that. You are able to put a transceiver in, and then like a scrambler relay, and then a receiver, so that way you can communicate to it, and then it can communicate to him, and you have it ready to go where it's not like self-propelled or anything. You all will have to drop it off somewhere and then move away from it, but it will work and not let them know where your actual ship is.
Nice. There was one more thing Dee Dee wanted to actually do before we went down to the planet. I don't know if we're going to have another moment of pause before then.
Sure. What's up?
And I'm sure you're going to make me give you an investigation roll for it, but Dee Dee wanted to go down and inspect exactly what type of quote-unquote modular system that this, company would use, and just to kind of pre-check things she would need before they go down.
Sure. You've had a lot of time on this ship, so I'd say that's something you've just kind of learned as you've spent the past, almost 2 weeks aboard this ship, so...
Okay, that's fair. I just didn't want to get back up here and find out we couldn't make it work because I forgot whatever adapter behind.
Give me a investigation check for that.
Sure. 11.
An 11? That's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, with an 11, you can probably make a lot of it work, but this is kind of like working on, like a higher end model car, like a Cadillac or a BMW, where every part is like unique for that model and like is special manufacturing. Like for some reason, some of the pull cables are made out of ivory or whatever. Like it's one of those things where it's a high enough luxury item that it is able to have a bunch of like stuff added onto it, but it was all like stuff by that manufacturer added onto it. So you're going to have to spend quite a bit of time to actually retrofit and get this all to fit together with just, your spit and duct tape method.
No, that's fine. I imagine she'll have to fabricate parts as she goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is fine. I figured.
But yeah, you would know that from overtime. All right, so you all have the buoy that you can send out. Anywhere in particular you would like to try to drop that, or do you want someone to take a bike and go somewhere far away and try to drop it somewhere, or what's the plan?
Could we not jettison it?
It's not pressurized in the Astral Sea, remember, because there's a breathable atmosphere. So,
right.
And you only have like machine gun lasers, like you don't have like a cannon or anything to launch something with.
Gotcha.
So you could drop it and it would free float behind you all, and then you all can move away from it, or someone can take it further away and put it somewhere specifically.
Crew?
I can take a bike out.
Yeah,
I can't drive, Smile.
the last few times I have tried, well, you all are aware.
The captain says, all right, well, anyone else confident in steering us through asteroids while Alwyn goes, or is that me?
You've got the best hands on the deck.
All right, go before I shoot you.
Oh, well.
Please stop shooting each other.
It's fun, Doctor!
Alright, give it here, short stack.
She kind of reached over her shoulder and handed it up to him. You be careful with it, there's only one.
Right. Well, I'm sure you've built it, halfling tough, so it'll be fine.
All right, you attach the little... yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Is this a voice recording or is this a typed message? Quick question.
No, you built it so it has a receiver and a transponder.
A relay.
So, so you can speak to it and it'll speak out for you. So.
Dee Dee's gonna then look at the captain and give her a wink and go, "Also, Captain, there's a scrambler on there, so he won't know what we actually sound like.
Oh,
Or a
nice.
modulator on there, so
Yeah.
he won't know what you sound like."
You think of everything, Dee Dee. This is why we keep you around. You get paid the big bucks for it, right?
We get paid?
Sometimes. And we'll swap over to Aloin, who is loading up the lunchbox onto the back of the bike. And the cargo bay doors open as the captain takes the helm, and you jet out of the back on one of the little bikes, dipping and dodging through the asteroids. You can take some long, like, lazy curls around some of them. Which direction you headed? Draw it for me with a little measuring tool, if you would.
Little measuring tool. Which way do I want to go? Which way do I want to go? I don't know. Probably the opposite way of us, right?
Probably, yeah. The planet Pax is this right over here.
Yeah.
And your all's ship, if you can't see it, is right here.
Okay. Yeah, it actually was blending in really well.
Yeah. And it took you about 3 hours to get from Pax to that asteroid belt right there. So, just so you have an idea of how far you can travel in like an hour or two.
Yeah, then, And I want to go the opposite way of where the ship was, too. The other ship that passed us.
The other ship that... So you all are headed this direction to head out towards Pax. The other ship that passed you was coming from Pax into the asteroid field and then heading this direction. So you're either heading... If you're staying in the asteroid field, you're either heading with the Soleil or with the...
Okay, then I don't want to keep with the Soleil, so I'll just scoot around. But they've probably made a good heading by now.
All right, you take off on your little bike.
And then I'll go... No, just give me the line, please. I'll cut back here.
Okay.
Is that about an hour's worth?
Yeah, that should be about an hour's worth of travel. Okay, so you're gonna head back there?
Yep. And then when I get there, I'm gonna take the lunchbox and give it a kick away.
Hold on.
No, that's all that happens. And then I just scoot it on back.
Sure. Give me a stealth check. If you're
Always
being
stealthy.
If you're flying, you don't need to roll stealth check. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and be stealthy.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because that's a good stealth roll. It's gonna be an 11.
Okay, sure, yeah. You get about 50 minutes away from the Soleil, getting towards where you feel like you're getting enough distance at this point that you could probably drop it soon. You crest over a particularly large asteroid, and you see the Marshal ship facing away from you, just on the other side of that asteroid. You have no like local radar or anything on this little bike. It's just a recreational vehicle. So you almost run into it as it's parked there at an asteroid.
It's facing away from me, right?
Correct. The ship is facing away.
These situations. That's not a good stealth roll, though.
It wasn't a good stealth roll. Nope.
I'm just gonna... How close am I onto this asteroid?
You were hugging it, like you were trying to, you said that you were trying to be stealthy, so that's fine. You were hugging them pretty tight. The problem with it is that you didn't spot this thing before you were on top of it.
Right. we're gonna try and scooter Scuffy Jr. Back a little bit.
Okay, you're gonna try to pull a quick Yui.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of just gonna go, okay, no, and just go the other way a little bit.
Sure. You're one away from your proficiency with your piloting. Is that correct, or did you get them all?
Yeah, so I was one away.
Okay. So this is just going to be a sleight of hand roll for me to try to steer this ship and hopefully not be seen. Make a quick enough maneuver.
That's gonna be a 13.
13. Okay. Okay. You kick on one of the air brakes for the little bike, and it turns sideways and scoots like a drift a bit before you're able to kick it back into gear and start sending it. You look over your shoulder. You see that lights have turned on all over the ship, and it is turning its bearing and starting to give chase.
All right. We're gonna hit the throttle. As I do, though, I'm gonna go ahead and just drop the lunchbox, so it's kind of hugging. It kind of falls towards the asteroid.
Okay, you're gonna go in and try to ditch it right now.
Yeah.
They can probably see you currently. Is that okay?
Well, okay. So I shouldn't just drop that here, then, right?
It's up to you.
No, fuck. No. Let's just. Damn. Do I have anything here? No, yeah, we're just gonna try and haul ass.
So you're not dropping it?
No, not yet. I don't want them to see it, I guess.
Okay. You hit the throttle and start taking off. There's a little like burst of dust from the surface of the asteroid. You're hugging it so close with this little bike as this much larger ship starts turning and following you around the outside of the asteroid. And we're going to take a really quick... Then we will get right back into it. What's everyone aboard the Sacrificium Soleil doing during this kind of 2-hour time where Alwyn has taken off with the signal?
Still working on the disguise, I suppose, because we've got the name down and some of that stuff, and after an hour, you would have told me a bit about it, but now I have to actually work on it. So I imagine I'm using my disguise kit proficiency and my forgery proficiency and actually making what I need.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
Yeah, Dee Dee is gonna get with Jackson and whoever else, officers included, might be grabbing the components I need and just going over the list with them, making sure they know what it is and what it looks like so we can expedite that as quickly as possible.
Okay.
And if there's anything you're not sure what it looks like, just bring it to me and I'll go find it myself.
How many people would you like on that team? Because that will determine how quickly you can get that done.
Let's say Jackson, and I don't know if we have any other any kind of engineering background. What about the Broderick brothers? Do they have any kind of engineering stuff?
Yeah, they grew up on the Junker planet, so they know what they're looking for.
Well, they're in life debt to us, so I'm sure it'd be easy to convince them to. Go ahead, Gibby. I'm sorry.
Could always take Rog for the muscle.
That too. You use Rog like a big shopping cart. As far as the
now remember,
bigger things than.
Are you taking the entire ship into Atmo or just the cruiser? Because the more people you take also is going to take up more space for equipment.
Right, no, I think we're just taking the cruiser, right?
So that can hold like 6 people normally, with like a little bit of room left over in like the center. But if you're wanting to bring like ship parts back, you probably don't want to take way too many.
Yeah, probably just me and Jackson then would be the only 2 people I'd bring.
I would bring a third.
You could bring a couple people on bikes, and they might be able to tow some stuff, but also help you load stuff.
That's fair. I didn't think about the bikes. Well, yeah, I mean, I'd probably ask well, no, I don't want to ask them to help then, because they might take off with our bikes, and that would be bad. I'd get 2 of our crew members who could probably recognize a ship part if they saw it, like the general more common things. But I don't know who we have specifically.
I think if you told Rog, like, this is in the shape of a triangle. Do you know what a triangle is?
He's a big boy, though.
But, if he's on a bike, then it wouldn't matter. And then you'd have his strength to use.
I'm just imagining this giant, like, ogre on a little tiny child's bike.
Fat guy in a little coat. Fat orc in a big motorcycle.
But yeah, I mean, I would probably take Jackson, and then I'd people on 2 of the bikes.
Okay. All right, you put your team together, you get the shopping list of everything you need, and that can be kind of a fluid shopping list until, you're actually on play and stuff like that, so you don't have to write anything out for me quite yet. But it's around this time that you see the buoy activate, that it has been deployed. So wherever Alan was going, he got there.
Dee Dee will make her way back up to the top, and Captain, it looks like the comlink is ready. Alwyn must be on his way back.
She nods and says, "All right, yeah, let's wait for him before we we'll put some more distance between us and the buoy before we make contact."
She nodded and sat down and waited.
Okay. Anyone else do anything during that 2-hour stretch?
I guess Hank would be just mostly making sure that the other bikes are fine and dandy, that there's like no issues, and that Ty isn't like fucking hiding in one of them.
Nope. Kai does spend some time around where Dee Dee and them are getting everything ready, because there's just a bustle of activity of people like doing things, and so Kai's interested in it.
Astral.
Yeah, then that.
Oh, go for it, Hank. Finish up.
Oh god, I was just gonna finish. I was just gonna say, yeah. Then Hank's gonna mostly focus on making sure that everything is shipshape for the bikes.
Okay.
Ash is going to be working on, at least, I guess, trying to prepare the parts that are going to be retrofitted to be, like, disconnected. So that once we have a replacement part, we can quickly, like, detach the old part and move in the new one.
Yeah, you're basically putting up all the supplies you need to be able to start working on this right away.
Yeah.
Okay. An hour passes after the beacon has been activated. You all have not seen Alwyn reappear on radar yet. The captain kind of stops moving away and holds position for a bit. Maybe you all just got like a bit too far away during that hour. You all were moving opposite. That makes sense. It should take a bit longer. Then 2 hours pass and Alwyn still has not returned. The captain calls for all officers to come up to the bridge about this time. If you all were not already knowing that Alwyn should have been back by now.
Yeah, that's spooky.
It's alright, guys. I'm rolling up my new character.
You don't
Epic.
think that idiot got caught, do you?
The captain groans and says,
Well-
I fucking hope not.
Hurtful.
It is possible that he crashed, shall we say, if nothing else.
He did seem to have a lot of trouble with those vehicles. I wouldn't put it past.
I mean, he did do fine enough when it came to test practices. He didn't run himself over like a certain officer did, but
Well, we know
I
which
think it is important that we.
direction he was headed. Should we go check and see if he crashed somewhere?
I can at least try and take one of the larger ships. I'm still not proficient in it, but I'm at least a little experienced with it compared to some of the others.
I do not know if we should divert the entire ship for it, though. We are still on a timeline.
Yeah.
That's why I'm offering to go with like with one of the smaller ones.
Take some people with you, just in case.
Do we have more than one cruiser, or do we only have the one?
You have the one cruiser, and then you had 4 bikes?
Yes, and the bikes can hold 2, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
With no
We
other
need
room
the-
for storage. Or 1 with storage.
Then yeah,
Are
I'll
we
take the
waiting
bike.
for... Are we waiting... I was going to say, are we waiting for you to come back with the cruiser then, or are we splitting?
I'd probably have to take a bike then. Yeah.
Over an hour, I think. It might be put in to just get our parts and get out.
Well, we're not going to get out without Alloin.
Yes, but we can at least conclude our business here.
I mean, that planet, it was only, 6 hours ago you all shot up the place. Like, it still probably has some marshals around it. I don't think we're in any hurry to get to Pax, are we?
I suppose not.
Not at the moment, really, no.
Let's make sure Alwyn's okay first, and then once he's back on board, we'll deal with Pax afterwards. The more time we can give that place to settle down after the firefight, the better. All right, Hank, who are you taking with you in the cruiser?
Who's gonna volunteer? At least would like someone who has access to a sending stone, so that we could quickly respond to the captain if need be.
Oh, I don't know if me and Hank being on the same bike is advisable, but I'll do it.
Does Nadi have sending?
That would
No,
require
she
them to
doesn't.
be a 5th level caster.
Oh, true. I mean, I think she's up there.
She's like 3rd level. The rest of the people
She's
who are...
level 4 cleric.
4, okay. Close.
And we still have the sending stone that Soleil was using with the captain, right?
Yes.
You could just slap that on there. And then anyone else that wants to come. We've got us as at least one volunteer.
Then
The captain will stay with the ship, so you all can take the other side. Sorry, what were you saying, Astrid?
Then let it be Ash, if he is volunteering.
Okay.
All right.
I'll ask you on hop on board. I'm going to give you the sending stone. If anything happens, you're going to yell it, so that the captain at least knows what's going on.
Of course.
All right, you all take off in the little cruiser, heading through the asteroid field in the general direction that Alwyn last went. Hank, are you trying to fly this thing kind of stealthy? How much experience do you have with these again? You didn't get your proficiency with it, did you?
I won't Not yet.
Okay. So, give me your sleight of hand roll for it.
Can I give him guidance?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm only helping
That
because my life is also at stake.
13 plus a d4, which is 1, so 14.
Okay. You're flying proficiently enough. I'll say a 14 is not enough to be flying proficiently and stealthy, though. You're having to dodge a lot of asteroids, which is not something you've ever practiced before. So you're able to fly safely and not hit anything, but it's not the stealthiest of flying.
Mm-hmm.
But you all start moving through the asteroid field towards that direction. You travel about 45 minutes when the little, like, kind of local radar sensor on your all ship picks up 2 signals, the bike and a Marshal ship. It's behind some asteroids right now. You're covered, so you don't see anything. It's just showing up on your, like, local radar.
I'm gonna tap Ash on like the side and then just nod ahead at the Astra and say, "There's a Marshal ship there as well." Think he was got.
Well, time to put this into use. I'm gonna disguise myself as Captain Sarge.
Okay.
Well, time to find out if Alwyn got himself fucking got. You're Simmons. Your name is Simmons. Anyone asks, you're fucking Simmons.
Just a reminder, you all are in kind of like a hot rod ride of a transport cruise.
Yeah.
You want to pretend to like put a gun to my head and say that you caught me working with the other guy?
No.
Okay.
They don't. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll figure it out.
We'll play it by ear. And then I'm gonna fucking take us towards where the bike is.
Okay, hold on a second.
Don't bother going back to tell the others.
Full stop.
Send a message.
For a hot second.
This is okay.
I mean, like, before you start, like, pulling, I didn't know. I thought you were going to let me use the sending stone first, bro. Come on.
Nope, let's get it. It'll work or it won't. Let's find out.
Yeah, like, after the sky stuff goes up, that's when sending goes to the captain. Alwyn's bike gone. There are Marshal ships. Gonna see if he can be found.
The captain responds, Roger, don't get captured. If we don't hear from you in an hour, we'll head that way.
Alright, Simmons, we got an hour before the captain's gonna come looking for us. Let's make it snappy.
I gotcha, Sarge. And he's gonna fucking rev up the thing and go towards the bike this time. There's nothing else that could possibly happen.
Okay.
This is the later on at night, the dumber I get.
It's a horrible plan, by the way.
This is the worst plan. All right, so you both take off in this hot rod transport ship, heading towards where the Marshal and the bike is. You all crest over an asteroid and see the Marshal ship on high alert, staying over top of where an asteroid is with a crater in it, and you see the bike abandoned with the back engine destroyed inside the crater. The Marshal ship looks like it's busy and active and about to leave.
Alright, stop.
Stop it. I'm stopping immediately.
Watch that vehicle. We're gonna mark where it goes, and then we're gonna head back. I don't think we have the speed in this thing, nor do I think the two of us can take on an entire fucking warship like that. But if we watch where it goes, our entire ship and our entire crew can follow.
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
Yeah.
Me or
For the
Gideon?
ship. Yeah, for the ship.
Okay.
So, Hank.
Guidance.
Well, that's a 9, and I'm really gonna hope for a 4 on the guidance. 10.
Okay. I'll roll this one in front of the board. That seems fair. This ship has a plus 4 to its perception. It is active and alert right now and has a radar, so it can also see you on the radar if you're not hiding directly on an asteroid. All right, we're rolling that 20. As you all as you all are cresting and you yell stop, 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 Hank stops really quickly and you hit a part of an asteroid and it cracks and the little rock goes tumbling through the air and actually hits the side of the Marshall ship and bounces off, and several spotlights turn to where the cruiser is. And the ship seems to power on and starts moving towards you all.
Alright, don't move. The last thing that we want is them opening fire on us.
Their sights movement based.
They're like T-Rexes.
Oh, I know about T-Rexes.
Yeah,
Okay, then.
me too.
Now is when Ash tells Hank. By the way.
Hank, as a matter of fact, I think that there's something you ought to know about Sue.
I was kidding. Don't do that right now. Not what else needs to be happening in this moment. This is bad enough as this thing is powering up and coming towards you all. I need to know what you're doing. They are trying to hell you actively on comms.
All right. Actually, I've got a better idea. We crashed into an asteroid, right?
Like part of the back of the little carrier, like cracked off a rock of an asteroid. Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be really weird. But what if we went invisible? You and me, right now, before they have a chance to investigate anything.
I mean, I feel like they still have the radar and they're tracked on us, right?
That's just for the ship, though.
I mean, you all moved on the radar, like you appeared there, and they turned their attention to you.
Wait, so. This is a hot rod, right?
Yeah, it's like a mini yacht. It's like a pontoon boat of like a really fancy like. It's a carrier, so it can be used to transport things, but it is like luxury.
Can we pretend that we're just like fucking like rich kids just trying to go for
you tell me what you want to do. They're hailing you right now.
No, I'm talking to Ash.
Oh, okay. That was in your voice. So
all right.
Yeah, sorry.
So either we can do the Sarge thing, or we can be pompous assholes.
Yeah, and then I just crashed this thing, and my dad's gonna fucking kill me.
Or I am your dad, and we're teaching you how to drive.
Yes, and then you're going to kill me.
My name's Captain Sarge, and I'm your dad, and you're my son Simmons.
Yes, this is what we're going with.
I want you both to really think about me as a DM and how the characters I make are going to take these scenarios, because this could get you shot out of the sky right now. So.
I mean, there's not really a lot of good excuses we have for why we're here in a ship, and we just crashed into a police investigation. Final
answer from you two. The comms are being held. You can ignore them if you want to, but they do have weapons trained on you, and they are moving towards you. What's the plan?
Fuck it. Disguise self. I'm now a woman.
Okay. The wild card option.
I'm a pearly-haired, long, in a very frilly pink jacket and a long skirt, and Hank just sees Ash hit he immediately dons his disguise and hits the button for the hail and says, "Hello."
Hi, this is the Marshal Vessel Empyrean. What are you doing out here? This is the site of an active crime scene. Please report your make and model and where you hail from.
Oh my gosh, this is a crime scene? Oh my god, babe, do you hear? This is a crime scene. Oh, can you believe that our pleasure cruise would I'm so sorry. Like, totally so sorry. We, make and model up, babe, do you have the driver's license and registration? Can you look for that?
Yeah, I do. Let me look real quick for you.
Okay.
And he's gonna.
Let's do a deception roll before we go too much further into this.
Okay.
Both of you need to give me one.
Oh my god.
That's a natural 19 for a 28.
Hell yeah.
That's an 18.
Hell yeah.
That was almost a nat 20. It just got caught on the window.
Hank, you were not disguised self on PAX, and you are currently not in one right now, correct?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay. Just go ahead. You're starting to look around for the paperwork?
Yeah. Yeah, God, my dad's gonna fucking kill me. Oh
my god, your dad's gonna kill us. He's gonna kill us. We're never gonna be able to hang out again. Oh my god. You said everything was gonna be fine, and it's not fine. And oh my god, I think I'm having a panic attack.
Oh, no, babe. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We good. Look, I've almost got, do I find, paperwork for the...
For the make and model? Give me an investigation check real quick.
If you tell them the truth, you're basically saying it's us.
13.
You find some paperwork. You're not sure if it's the make and model. It looks like it has some numbers on it and stuff. You're not entirely sure.
Ash sees that he has it, and he's going to quickly make something up. The make is Super Hot Rod X33 2000. And it says that the code is 1337 42069.
The marshal talks to someone off screen for a second. You can hear what they're saying, and then they look back, or not screen. It's just a voice comm. You hear them mumbling something to someone off comm, and then coming back over, they say, "All right, please stay there while we verify that." And they move closer to within range of you, but they're just holding right now and have you kind of on pause.
All right, can they still hear us?
You can mute your end if you want, or yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna mute it real quick. All right, are we fucking killing them if it's like two guys? I'm going to fucking
This
murder
is one of
them.
the like big marshal ships, like the ones that yeah. This is one of the almost the size of the Soleil with like full cannons on it, bigger ships.
You are in a jet ski and they are on a battleship.
Understood.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was that big.
Notably, you do not see Allowen anywhere. You just the bike, but you don't see a body or any signs that Allowen might have been killed, and they were still hanging out here. So,
Do I see like what destroyed the engine? Was it like a straight shot, or did it just
there's
crash?
like a big burn mark on it from one of the big cannon engines of the Marshal ship.
Point of order from from when we were on the junk planet. Have we had any short rest? I know it's like still
I would have said during the 2 hours of travel, you've had several opportunities to take short rest. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there isn't much that I can do outside of inflicting harm on people or making both of us invisible. So we're kind of boned if they recognize you.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm open to suggestions because right now we're just waiting for them to show up.
Importantly, they've not seen you all. Like the video thing was not something that was happening.
Yeah.
so it's just audio. So unless they board, they won't be able to recognize Hank or anything.
Do you still have your disguise kits? Because we could just even do like minor things like hiding my gray hair.
Better idea. Ash is gonna take off like his
set fire to my hair.
His actual hat. No, what the fuck? He's gonna take off his actual like first mate's hat and say, "You can wear this because you have to," and he's just gonna put it on Hank.
Okay.
Oh, a lot better than my idea. I thought I was going to have to go bald for a couple months.
No, you can just wear my actual clothing, since my disguise is going to change what I look like entirely.
All right.
Regardless.
So just to be clear, the disguise that Hank is now wearing is just the first mate's hat, or
if I want to do like a complete change, I could also give him my jacket. Like
Do you?
Ash's. Yeah, fuck it. You just see like this. Not to no one's surprise, Ash is wearing a wife beater, fire immune, shirt underneath. But he still looks like the, pearly haired elf girl, as he gives Hank his jacket. So he's dressed in
okay.
much different
Are
clothing
you
now.
doing anything to change anything about your face, Hank, or is it just the coat and hat?
Hank is going to cut off at least his beard. He's going clean shaven.
All right.
On a bike in the middle of space.
Okay, well,
Are you using your axe to shave yourself, or what are you using to do this? And is there just going to be a bunch of beard hair like all over the console now? Or
that's the most identifying feature, right? The fucking beard and the
no, I mean
hair.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea, especially if one of you is like prestidigitation or something to get rid of
I
it.
have my fire whip. If you really want to get rid of it quickly.
Oh, it'll smell like burnt hair in there.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to fucking make.
All right, hold still.
The comm lights up again that they're trying to communicate.
Can't fucking get. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, those numbers don't check out with anything that we have in the system. We're going to have to pull you in and do a manual check. Please stand by.
Oh my god, you said it was up to date, babe. Alright, well, we'll be here.
They start moving into position towards where they have a large door that they would use for just a hangar bay. And there's two marshals that are on tethers on the outside. And they launch these tether lances out that kind of just have a net on the end that seem to magnetically clip to either side of the ship and start pulling it in towards their docking bay.
He's gonna duck down quickly below this. Is there any super obvious markings I could maybe at least hide so it takes them a little bit of time?
Hide in the trunk. No, I'm just kidding.
So you all are being dragged into it. What are you both doing? You're wanting to change any markings inside, or what about the paperwork you're currently holding that had the actual registry numbers on it?
I'm going to burn them. Control flame, produce flame. It's gone.
Gotcha.
They're going to have no way of actually figuring out what the real numbers are on this.
Yeah, and I'm going to at least try and see if there's any internal markings, and then just try and fucking smudge them as much as possible.
Okay. Hank is wearing the first mate hat and coat. And did you shave your beard?
I'm burning it off with my fire whip.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
So you shave off the beard with an axe, and now the interior of the cab smells like burnt hair and documents, burnt documents. Ash, you look like an elven woman, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, imagine Adine, and that's what I look like right now.
Okay. All right. You all are pulled into the docking bay. They release the one of the tethers on the front of the ship, but keep the other one anchored for now, kind of like a boot. And as you all are loaded on, they don't fully close the docking bay. They don't seem that suspicious of you yet, but they do have you pretty thoroughly, so they're not too worried about it. But you hear a knocking on the rear hatchway of the cruiser.
I put the window down.
The window down. They don't have windows on this, unfortunately.
Manually crank down the window. Hello, officer.
No windows on the ship able to make atmospheric entry, unfortunately.
You know.
Do you all open the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
I opened the door.
Jesus Christ. I didn't think tonight was going to be a party wipe, but the back of the ship opens up. Do you all stand, or are you staying in the front there in the seats?
Staying seated until told to otherwise.
All right. You open the back. It hisses and slides down and makes a chink, and then you hear a couple marshals behind you, like, yeah, go ahead. And you hear two sets of boots walking up into the ship and says, all right, just keep your hands where we can see them, please. Hands up.
Oh, sure. I like
Raising my hand.
ride.
All right. Reach over with your right hand, unbuckle yourself if you're buckled, and follow us, please.
You got it.
All right. And they have you disembark off the ship, and you're led into the hold here. You see a couple rows of what looks like martial bikes, like they all have this same kind of black and gold with the insignia of Davith kind of emblazoned on it, just like a very gaudy looking marshal's big gold badge on the front of each of these bikes, and then like a smaller cruiser ship kind of docked there as well. Looks like it has a couple on board, just small arms, like little rifles and stuff kind of set up on the outside of it. But there are... sorry?
As we're walking past, do I see like where the engines would be for the size of this thing? Like
Not
where
in-
the engine room is?
Not in this, not in the hold. You saw from the outside that they would be like up a floor and to the left.
Okay.
But not here. You all walk in, and you see also Alwyn over in a cage in a corner with a couple people over by him processing him. Alwyn,
Ash?
you look over and see a beardless Hank and a female elf.
Ash immediately clocks Alwyn and then immediately looks away as if it was someone who is like, oh, what's that? Oh, never mind. And like essentially tries to not show any interest or any looking towards Alwyn.
Alwyn clocks the disfigured Hank, but then he kind of smiles, but it's more so that smile like say, yeah, that's a rather nice looking half elf ass right there. Hey, pretty thing, how about later?
Oh no, sorry, I'm already taken.
Yeah, he's already taken.
Hank, you take an inspiration for that. That was great. One of the guards sticks in a little cattle prod and shocks you, Alwyn, and says, shut up, get down. They have disarmed you by now, Alwyn. Your guns are being processed over in another container. It's over in a set of lockers to the right, away from where these cages are and stuff. Each of them locked up, but you don't have your cloak anymore either, so it's just shirt, pants, and boots right now.
Damn, the guitar, my damn trench coat.
Yep.
But what about my hat?
All of it in the locker.
People gonna die today. All right.
But yeah, you all see Alwyn over in the corner still being processed and stuff as they are going through. It looks like they've made communications back to Davith that they have Alwyn and are figuring out what their next orders are. But you all are led over just kind of away a bit from your craft as two other marshals go in to start checking the inside of the craft. And the officer that is with you all is a very clean-shaven, crew-cut, big black cowboy hat that kind of droops over his eyes a little. He looks a little bit younger than the ones you saw in the canteen before, but still very very professional. Like, he's trying really hard to do things like by the book and stuff like that, but he's got that kind of sneer to him a bit too, where he clearly is enjoying what he's doing, as he's like, all right, I need names and where you all from. Addresses too, please. You from Zavir?
We're actually not from this system. We are just visiting because we hear that Davos was, your dad said he knew Davos, right, babe?
Yeah, don't worry, no issues. The name's Smithens. We're actually from like a little bit, not from this sector, but like I don't know exactly what the protocol is, what information need to give you, the like star coordinates or what have you.
That's fine. Wherever you're staying, and we can just verify with that.
Oh,
I hadn't even.
There was that planet, you said your uncle had the plantation or the farm or something that we were gonna stay at, right?
Yeah, it was, my family actually comes from a super long line of, farmers. It's incredibly in our blood. We've made millions all across the agri-worlds.
All right. Let's go ahead and do our deception checks.
Okay. Oh, that was almost a nat 20. Oh, it was on 18 and it swapped to 4 at the last fucking second. That's gonna be, you know what? I'm gonna spend my inspiration. Fuck that.
Same, brother.
Alright, fuck me. That's a nat 1.
Holy shit.
So that's
From
an
a
11.
nat 4 to a nat 1. Gotta
Wow,
love it.
you guys.
I'll let the inspiration work as a... God, that is still not very helpful, though. I'll let it work as advantage, where if it's worse, you can take that roll if you want. But...
Okay, I think we both got 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got robbed. Mine was literally on 18, and the game said, nope, it's 4, actually.
All right. We're going to roll in front of the board an insight check for this officer, okay? He is a police officer. He's got a plus 3 to this insight check. So you need him to roll a 9 or lower.
It's 50-50.
A 2.
No!
He rolled a nat 20 before, a 2 is worse.
The nat 20s had to stop at some point.
They had to stop at some point. He is clearly just getting frustrated with how a rich kid is talking to them, and he sees the make and model of this car and everything, and he's kind of putting together these people might be more trouble than they're worth, is how he's kind of taking it. So he's just waving a hand yeah, I don't need to hear all of, I just need whatever address you're at on August.
What was it? Wasn't it called wasn't it Dead End Farms or something? It was something farms or Big Plant Farms or Integrity.
Yeah.
It was Integrity Farms, yeah.
The Integrity Farms has
appreciate
an incredibly great products. We make some of the finest products in the world, in the entire sectors, in fact. Many people have gone and eaten it, and he's very clearly just saying shit to hype up his fake farm.
All right. One of you roll me a D100 for Integrity Farms. Was that it?
Integrity, integrity.
Integrity Farms.
I'll do it.
Okay, roll me a
Here we
D100.
go.
Call high or low for which one you would like. Okay.
Fuck me.
The night gets better.
Well, that technically is a nat 20.
That's one way to take it.
Oh.
Oh, wait, did you roll both dice or just the one?
That was just the one.
Oh, roll them both together.
Okay, so it's 20. Please be a 0. 8, so that'd be 28.
Okay. I was giving you an opportunity to re-roll it by saying you could roll both of them together.
Okay. let me do that then. Smile. Why? Oh, my game froze. 1 second.
The stress mounts.
So what was it?
18.
Jesus, dude.
Okay. He kind of waves a hand and says, all right, let me... and he has like just a little tablet that he starts typing in, and
Oh, no, ignore that.
He shakes his head and kind of like raises an eyebrow up at you, Hank, and he goes, I'm not seeing anything on Agus named Integrity Farms. You sure you said your father owned it?
No, it was his uncle. His dad said as a favor, because it was like, it's like my 200th birthday, and like, we've been together forever, and like we just got this new car, and like, his uncle is in the system, and we're kind of far away, but we want to have a vacation for our honeymoon, and it was just all this kind of stuff that we were gonna do, and like, we were on our way there. We just kind of entered the system, and like, you know what I'm saying? You look like you know.
So wait, have you all been together for a long time, or are you on your honeymoon?
Well, sorry, when I said honeymoon, I meant anniversary. Like, some people call it honeymoon because it's like, trying to relive it when you first got married and stuff like that. But yeah, this is like our 50th year together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and every time I'm with her, it's a brand new.
Every day's a new experience.
It's such a special experience.
Yeah. I'm still gonna need a valid address. Should we take you back to Agus? We can take you there, and we can figure out the name of the farm if that works.
Oh, would you? Oh, that would be so sweet of you.
Yeah,
We
can do that. It looks like your ship got a little bit banged up. What were you doing this far out again?
We're going on a pleasure
I was
cruise.
trying to show off for her. It is a special date for us, and it does feel kind of bad that we have to spend part of it in here and causing issues for you all, especially when it's like we're interfering in what I heard was a crime scene. I don't want to cause any issues for you, but I was just trying to show off to my girl, my special little honey bun.
I hate that name. Not in front of an officer.
He nods as the other two officers walk back out of the ship and give a thumbs up, and he nods and says, all right, well, looks like you all are clean. We'll have to track down some documentation on this ship. It's pretty. I'd like to know where you got it from. Clearly not from around here. But yeah, follow me. You can wait up in the lounge up here, and we'll get you back to Agus. And he starts leading you all deeper into the marshalship.
Step 1, successful.
That was the success.
God.
All according to plan, so...
All according to plan. All right. Alwyn, you watch as Hank and the elf walk up some stairs up into one of the just officer lounges of the marshalship. It's really just kind of like a coffee like break room that they take you to. It's not really a lounge per se, but they just kind of give you some seats and say get comfortable. They'll be heading that way anyway here in a little bit because they needed to make a report about something. So.
Is there any phone or like sending phone calls that I can do? Just because I want to get in contact with at least the leisure crew to tell them know what's going on. Or should I wait further to explain to my uncle, Honeybun?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably better if we let them know that we're on the way. Yeah, I mean, I guess normally we have an entourage, but I guess we kind of wanted this one to be secret. Kind of the worst time for us not to have it, but
They say,
Yeah.
yeah, we got a planetarian ship-to-ship relay right over there. You can just punch in whatever you need.
Okay.
Do you want to punch in the sacrifice of Soleil?
Is it like actually logged or?
It looks like a big terminal where people can do like their police call. So yeah, it's logged.
Okay. Can I use it to say target one of the small bikes instead of the Soleil or?
The bikes don't have individual comms on them. The cruiser did, but the bikes don't have like radar or comms. They're literally just jet skis. Like they don't have like other things on them.
I'll do a call later.
All right. Well, make yourself comfortable. Some vending machines over there, but we'll let you know when we're getting close to August. And they leave you in the room.
How many people are in this room besides us?
Currently, just you two. There's a bunch of people on board. Like you clocked maybe 10, 12 marshals from what you saw, but you didn't see all the ships. So.
I have the message cantrip, so we can communicate telepathically.
Okay.
And as long as there's no one in this room, and presuming there's no cameras to watch us.
Give me a perception check.
Okay, I want to be able to cast magic, but I don't want them to know that I'm casting magic. God fucking damn it! I hate this game.
Can I?
You hate D&D.
I hate D&D so much. That's a 3.
A 3. Hank, did you also want to roll a perception check?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. You're in the room.
That's a 13.
All right.
But
you all sent the best crew to do this.
Only the best.
I knew it was like fucking shit bar as soon as these two got together.
Okay. With a 13, you do spot at least one camera.
Hank is going to try and like subtly like point to the camera, but by doing it by like flexing, like he points his arm up and like flexes his bicep, but like he's pointing his
just casually flexing. You give me a deception check.
Can I give him advantage by going, ooh? Ah.
Yeah, absolutely, that works.
So the first one's a 15, and then the second one is a 14, so 15.
Okay. Sure. You casually flex towards where the camera is.
Okay. I think... Okay, so how many doors to other rooms are there?
There's just one door in and out of here, and it leads you to a hallway. That hallway connects, if you go right down towards where the hangar bay was, if you go left towards the command bridge. But this is a pretty populated hallway. You see people passing back and forth by the glass. Occasionally, like if you're waiting here for a while, someone will drop in, give you all like a little wave or just a suspicious look, and make some coffee and walk out. But it's a pretty populated area.
One second. Would you say... No, never mind. I'm going to imagine there's a lot more than 1 inch of metal between me and Alwyn.
Correct.
Because as long as, even if I can't see him, if there's like a direct path, even just like through the hallways, and he's 120 feet away from me, I can still use message. I'm hatching a plan. Hank, if you've got something...
I've got a thing, but even to me, this sounds like a stupid plan.
Oh, jeez.
But I've got something that if we absolutely need to leave this room, then we have to.
While you all are doing talking and stuff like that, the ship does start moving, and you can feel it starts heading towards Agast. So we will now add another ship to our little map here. And this is the ship where the other half of the crew is.
Yippee!
Right there.
Concern.
So this is the Marshal ship heading towards Agast right now.
I don't see it. I don't know where it is. Oh, okay, got it.
All right, that's enough circles. We're good. We did it. All right, so that is the Marshal ship currently taking you all towards Agast. So you all have a several-hour trip ahead of you to start coming up with ideas and plots and stuff like that. We will cut back over to Dee Dee and Aster aboard the Sacrificium Soleil as an hour passes and the captain sighs and says, "Well, fuck." And she looks over at you two and says, "All right, we're gonna go look for him. Let's get started, I guess."
There is nothing else to do, I suppose.
Dee Dee grumbled. Oh, there's lots to do, but everyone keeps getting their asses into trouble.
All right. So, an hour passes as you all make your way back towards where the last signal of the cruiser was. As an hour passes aboard the Marshal ship with Hank and Ash in the just kind of cafeteria area, coming up with their plans, and Alwyn finally getting processed and locked in his cell in one of the cages in the main docking area there. The Sacrificial Soleil arrives close to the site. You all have gunners on standby, ready to go and everything. But as you get there, you just find the wreckage of the bike, which it looks like they shot and exploded the rest of the way. They destroyed it.
Well, god damn it.
But
Well,
no sign of the Marshals, no sign of the cruiser.
somebody found them then. But the other, our second bike, is not here either. So, I suppose it's a reasonable assumption that whoever it is got both of them.
Yep, seems that way. Well, that gives Davith a pretty big bargaining chip.
Indeed.
She calls on the Broderick brothers and says, "All right, hypothetically, you two, if someone was taken prisoner by the Marshals, where would they be taken?" And Anders kind of grimaces and says, "Depends. Public, like prison and stuff like that, is on Zavir, but Davith actually runs a plantation on Agast. So if they were taking them to Davith, they'd go there. If they were taking them to public jail, they'd go to Zavir." And the captain kind of blows out breath and says, "Do you think they made the connection between this ship and Alwyn?"
I imagine he, well, I imagine, if not Alwyn, the bike itself would have some buyback.
From what I saw on when we were first on PAX, Captain, even in this remote region, the insignias on his pistol were highly recognizable. It wouldn't surprise me if they figured out who Alwyn was and decided to take him to Davith himself.
She nods and says, all right, I guess we head to Agus then. I don't like this. And the captain turns the ship and starts... She's going to follow the asteroid belt, heading around a bit, not wanting to traverse through the open space of the two more populated planets, and try to get behind where Agus is. So your all's journey will take a bit longer. But back on the Marshall ship, they're heading a pretty straight shot. It'll still take probably the better part of like 4 or 5 hours to get there. So you all have a while that you can wait.
Is it time, Hank?
It's time.
I think it's time.
Hank is going to walk away from
I'm
what was
Ashley.
your-
I'm Ashley.
Ashley. Okay.
Your wife.
I'm going to walk away from Ashley, my wife, and I'm going to make myself some coffee.
Sure.
Like my coffee very hot with like sugar, I guess, and just pure black otherwise.
Yeah.
Question, DM. While he's making coffee, as I am a very beautiful elf and I've already caught the eyes of Alwyn, have I been catching pretty looks from anyone else? I know we've gotten weird looks, but have I been, maybe catching the attention of some men on the ship?
You know what? Give me a give me a performance check.
Sure. Nat 20.
God.
There isn't a marshal on board that hasn't came by to try to get a look. Like, word has spread through the ship pretty quickly, like, super hot elf girl in the break room right now.
Hell yeah. I'm hoping to maybe, catch one of those guys looking at me and then maybe, do, a little saunter over to him and bump into me. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Just some chit-chatting a bit. And
there's one of them that's come by to get chips out of the vending machine 3 times in the past 2 hours. So he's been trying to catch looks at you all the time. So pretty easy to
hey,
bump into.
What's your name?
Oh, hey, I'm Josh.
Hey Josh, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Have you oh my god, your armor, it looks so impressive.
Yeah, it's Marshall. Look, and he kind of shows off a bit. It's like protective plate across the front. It looks like leather kind of inserts, but it's all this black. It's a fairly decent looking suit of armor. It would take most small arms fire pretty easily. So.
Oh my god, you look so buff in that. Has anyone never told you that?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally, but I appreciate it. And he kind of positions a bit closer to you.
I'll position a bit closer to him. I'll say, so, I normally never ask this, but, I'm feeling a little quirky today. And, I heard there was a crime scene. We heard there was a crime scene going on. Is there anyone dangerous on board? Should I be afraid? Can you protect me from him?
Oh yeah, of course. We've got him. It's a pretty dangerous pirate outlaw down there, actually. And I don't want to brag, but I'm the one that brought him in.
Oh my god, Josh! No way! Really?
Yeah, really. He put up a fight for sure, but and he does a couple air punches, and I brought him down.
Oh my god! I look at Hank making the coffee.
Yeah, Hank's going to see this going on, and then he's going to just gasp really loudly, and he's going to reflexively close his hands on the cup and like spill hot coffee and like glass all over his hands. Like, ah, fuck.
Oh shit!
I think
you okay, dude?
Oh my god!
I think I fucking cut myself and burnt myself. Fuck. Do you have like a medical office I can go to?
We got a first aid kit over in the corner over there. He kind of nods his head over towards a drawer where you assume there's a first aid kit.
Oh,
I just
shit,
went.
this is.
I put a hand next to Josh and said, "Oh my god!" It's like, ugh.
Yeah, where'd you find this loser?
Oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my god.
Hold on, honey. Hold on a second, honey. What did you call me, sir? What's your badge? Who do you exactly work for, huh?
I work for Davis.
You know who
my
my
badge
father
number's
is?
right here. You want to look at it? And he kind of steps up to you a bit and, like, chests up to you.
Oh my
He's gonna.
god.
You know what this
Fine.
badge means? It means I can do whatever I want around here. You want to keep giving me attitude while we're giving you a free ride?
What rank are you?
I'm ranked shut the fuck up.
Oh my god.
Are you
Yeah.
rank high enough that you talk personally, your father speaks personally to Davis? Are you a business partner with Davis? Or are you just some kind of inborn ingrate who just happens to look at other people's wives?
He kind of snarls down at you and goes, "Hey, miss, you better grab your boy before he gets in trouble."
Oh my god, Josh, are you gonna let him talk to you like that?
He kind of smirks down at Hank and goes, "You know what? I don't think I will." And he goes to shove you.
I'm going to shove back.
Okay. He's going to try to pull an arm behind your back and handcuff you.
I'm going to shout, like, oh my god, there's a fight going on!
Sure. A couple other marshals that were in the nearby hallway come in, and Josh's like, "Hey, this guy's giving me attitude. Get over here. Give me a hand." And they start coming over to try to restrain you, Hank.
Hank is going to try and make as much distraction as humanly possible and try and see what Ashley does.
Ashley is, like, basically not physically touching Josh, but, like, as close as she can get to him without touching him, and, like, hiding behind him and being like, oh my god, he's, like, gone crazy or something, and he doesn't normally act like this. Josh, protect me.
Hank is going to actually... Is there, like, any obvious, like, key or anything? Like, on Josh's, belt or anything like that?
Give me a perception check. Is there a plan happening here, or are these just events?
22.
This is part of the plan. This is genuinely all according to plan.
All right, sure.
Nat 22.
Nat 20. Yeah, you spot a key card that each of these three marshals have, but Josh's is less protected. It's kind of just clipped onto his belt, but it looks like a access key card to some of the like stuff around the ship.
Hank is gonna try and like knock it off, like while he's tussling with them.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
This is where I would like the nat 20, please. 17.
Ooh.
17's not bad. Let's see if he notices it. With a 14 perception. You knock it off, and just kind of in the tussle of you and these three other men kind of fighting and pushing back and forth, he doesn't notice as you knock off this key card, and it falls onto the ground under his feet.
Do I notice it?
Yeah, you do. You hear the
Can I give it a little kick away so that nobody notices that I go to hide it?
Give me another slide.
So I can Hell yeah. I'm good at that. That's a 24, baby.
Very easily, you just with the tip of your toe, flick it, and it goes underneath where the vending machine is.
Hell yeah. We're gonna get that later.
These three guys are still restraining you. You know, do you want to do opposed athletics checks, or what's the plan here? You just gonna let them restrain you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Just like acting like a
handcuff you, and Josh says, "I think you could cool off a bit in one of those cells," and the other two kind of nod and push you out of the room and lead you down to one of the cells, back down the hold. And Josh turns back to what was the name? Ashley.
Ashley. Yeah.
Turns back to Ashley and goes, "Your dude's got a thick head."
Yeah, like, if there's one thing I know about him is that he can be a bit of a hothead. I didn't even want to marry him originally. Gosh, it's so embarrassing to say. We're supposed to be on like a anniversary honeymoon, but like, it's one of those arranged marriages, and like, my family needs the money. You know how it can be, being like the sixth daughter, and like elves live forever, so like, Dad just kept getting busy with Mom, and like,
He nods and goes, yeah, for sure. I mean, you could always just ditch him. I'd take care of you.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you might be able to, like, oh my gosh, I should be asking this, but like, I think you could give me a tour of like the ship?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. And he kind of offers his arm out to you.
I will, I'll give him a very, like, gentle, like, pat on the shoulders, like, very quick. Like, oh my god, Josh. I don't want to get you in trouble while you're at work.
He kind of shrugs and puts his arms down. All right, let's go. And leads you out to go on a tour of the ship. As Alwyn, you see Hank, badly disguised, is brought down the stairs, and they remove his hat and overcoat as they start to process him and take a picture of him to put him in the cells.
Well, there's some fresh meat.
Oh man, this is the guy who hit on me on the way up down here.
They completely disarm you as well, Hank, so no more axe or any other weapons right now.
Okay. And looking at Halloween's jail cell, is it still see-through?
Yeah, it's
like,
bars.
can you very... Okay. Does he have, like, cuffs on?
He does.
Okay.
They do seem to be
also,
cuffs that are preventing spell components. They are preventing him from making hand motions for spell components, so any semantic component is being blocked by them.
Okay. And is there, like, any key that's nearby?
You don't see any particular, like, it seems like one of the marshals at, like, the check-in desk area for these cells just, like, has a switchboard that he activates to open the cell and then activates again, and it slams shut after they remove all of your extra clothes and items and everything off of you.
Okay.
During this time, while you're being processed and put in the cage and everything, Ashley, you are being led around. Josh shows you to, like, just peeks in really quickly to the bridge because he actually would get in trouble for showing you that. So he just kind of shows real quick, and then he shows you like a small armory area right across from where like a set of desks are and stuff like that, like a little bullpen almost area that's set up in the ship. And then back down the stairs, you all pass by the cages and where all the ships are docked and everything. And he kind of gives a smug sneer over at Hank as he walks Ashlyn, like Ashley trying to put like a hand on the small of her back and then getting like swatted away, I'm guessing, as
because of how the spell disguise self works. I just very specifically do not want him touching me for any prolonged amount of time.
For sure. So he tries to put like a hand on the small of Ashley's back, and it gets swatted away.
It's always like a very playful swat, like, oh my god, like encouraging it, but also very like, stop.
Sure, and he leads you on through the ship and back towards the engines and everything, and then takes you where you want to go. Like, he just kind of walks you towards, or are you just wanting to like flirt and then have him drop you back off?
I think what I'm trying to do is get a good layout of how the ship internally is, and I'm looking for vulnerabilities, like, say, for example, a staff room that doesn't have a security camera, or a place where I could walk around where, even though this is a populated ship, like there might be a small corner with like a phone, where even though those are logged, if I could have access to a phone, because we had an all channels call that we saw on the ship, so potentially getting an all channel call out, not necessarily back to our ship, is part of the plan as well.
Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage.
Okie dokie. Alright, that's going to be a 12.
A 12? You don't spot any, like, huge particular weakness. You do see that the engine area is for sure the least monitored out of everything. There is, like, parts of the engine room that clearly don't have, like, security cameras or anything and don't seem to be, like, heavily populated. They'll only have, like, one or two, like, engineers on staff kind of in there at a time, with a couple, like, marshals just nearby. But definitely the least populated part of the ship. As for ways to, like, call, it looks like the only ways of communicating, like, outside of the ship is either in that break room on that, like, public your one free call before jail type video thing, or on the bridge.
Okay. Now, would there happen to be some sort of facility? It could be like a closet, like a cleaning room supply closet, a bathroom, something where if I was sneaky enough, I could hide in there, and assuming I grabbed the, let's say, for example, I was invisible, right? I'm in the break room. I grab the car key underneath the vending machine. I go invisible, make my way to the bridge, and try and get a message out.
There's a set of bathrooms right off from where that area is that you both have been seated in.
Okay. I think what I would like to do is have Josh bring me back to the break room, find a way to just kind of like, get his attention in such a way where I can, like, pretend that I'm getting a snack out of the machine and just pick up the key card that way, and then be like, oh my god, Josh, I have to use the little ladies' room. You think it's okay if I go just a little bit? You can walk through there.
I gotta make rounds anyway, but I'll come back and check on you. See how you're doing.
Perfect.
Yeah, ladies' room's right there, and kind of points to the door.
And I think that's when I'm going to then try to make myself invisible.
Give me the stealth check to get the key card first.
Okay. Oh. One time! Just one time.
Oh my god.
I am giving you my other inspiration.
You're burning your other inspiration to let him reroll?
Yes.
Okay.
This is important enough.
Much better. 19.
Okay. You are able to cover it by getting something from the vending machine and letting it fall out, and then reaching down and with the same motion grabbing the key card too.
Okay.
So you have the key card and you go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna burn a 3rd level spell slot to go invisible for an hour. And then I'm going to basically watch. I'm going to see if I can wait for someone else to use their kind of key card to go into the control room, and then I'll be using it like anywhere else that I can or that I have to. But I want like someone else to walk into the bridge, and then.
Oh, you're trying to get to the bridge?
Yes, I want to get to the bridge specifically.
Okay. You turn invisible. You are prepared to leave the bathroom. Right here is where we would normally call the session. Do you all want to keep going or call it for there?
I mean, I'm fine to keep going.
I'm good anyway.
Climactic, what's the word? Not fucking... cliffhanger. That's what I'm thinking of. Climactic cliffhanger to have for next time. I don't know.
Keep the train rolling.
Hey.
But Siren said he'd be right back unless he's back already.
Yeah, I think he's still BRB. I'm good to do either.
Rhea, how you feeling?
Should be done by then.
All right. Ashley, you turn invisible inside of the bathroom and exit. Where you headed?
To the bridge.
Okay. You get towards the bridge and you're waiting outside the door. It's not a massive door. You wouldn't be able to like fit in with somebody at the same time.
I'm thinking like single file line. I'm imagining right now kind of like a Star Wars ship. I'm thinking specifically like episode 4, like those kind of tight corridors at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So I imagine like I'm like kind of waiting in the hallway for someone who's clearly going to the bridge, and like basically like a 4-way.
Their armor is nice, but this is kind of a junkier and older model. So picture like there are grates on the floors and like it's kind of like a tubular shape for like, and it's a kind of like that dingy kind of like yellow to all the furniture and walls and everything like that. But you wait, and there is one of the marshals that comes, and they kind of look in the break room to see if they can find you for a minute. It's not Josh, though. It seems to be one of the other ones, and they keep going and walk on towards the bridge. And as you get behind them and walk in a single file line and start moving into that area, give me your stealth check with advantage because you're invisible.
Okay. Not great. Much better. 21.
Okay. You lock in step kind of perfectly in sync and start moving your way behind where this marshal is into the bridge. What are you looking for?
I'm looking if there is an open... Well, first I want to look to see if there's something that's unattended that appears to be a console of some kind that I might be familiar with.
Yeah, there's a couple. The helm is currently manned. There's someone that seems to be on like a broadcast station that is currently manned. There is a kind of older, gruffer looking marshal that doesn't have one of those cowboy hats on. Has a bit of a paunch to him, and he's sitting in what seems to be the captain's seat, just kind of like shooting the shit with another marshal that's kind of just hanging out on one of the chairs, taking up one of the consoles but not using it. And they're just kind of chatting. But there is a weapons console over to the right that is currently not manned, and there is another console for what looks like navigation to the right side. The person you're following in walks over to where the sergeant or the higher ranking marshal is and starts chatting with them, though. So where you headed?
Okay. I think I still want to use the bridge here to... it's going to be in their logs, but I don't think it's not... it's much like it's kept in their records, but not everyone's going to know immediately kind of thing, right? Of putting out a general, like a all channels message. I think I'll have to write the message out. Do you think we could switch to other people I write out exactly what I want to put the message in?
Sure. And this is going to be like a comm message, like not a verbal one, but like something that would show up on like computer screens, or what do you think?
Yeah, I want to type something out to basically it's going to be a message that's almost like a mix of Thieves' Cant, where it's like it's going to sound like a normal message to other people, but it's something that the captain or like our crew would recognize if they saw it on an open channel.
Sure. All right. So you are going to be working on this. Aster and Dee Dee, you both are still aboard the Soleil. Is there anything you all, now that you have the idea that these people are captured and you're heading to this other planet, is there anything either of you are trying to work on or do prior to getting to Agast?
We still have the Broderick brothers with us, right?
Yes.
Probably discussing with them, like, the general layout of that planet, what they know about it, Like, where are the best places to land if
Sure.
you don't want to be seen?
From what they describe, Agast is basically a giant plantation planet. There are massive area. Like, it was terraformed. It was originally like a big jungle world that was just wild and full of like vegetation and wild animals and stuff like that. It was all bulldozed over. It was set up as massive plantations that cover like hundreds of miles for each plantation. A lot of it is worked by manual labor in like self-contained, almost like company store style, like villages where it's like each plantation is its own community, and so it's supposed to set up and provide for like each of the workers, but it's near like slave labor conditions for all these people. So there are massive fields. Not all of them are super like looked after, since there is only the like main commerce ships that will come in, and it's like just the cargo ships that are like unloading stuff. Like, there's very little trade done on this planet. But this is where a lot of the money from this planet comes from, is these massive plantations. So access in and off the planet is mostly just done by these large freights that are done at like specific pickup locations. It is patrolled, as it is like the main source of money, but it's a big place and there are a lot of dead spots in it. It's hard to patrol all of it at once. So they say that it is possible to sneak on, probably not with the full ship if you're wanting to land that, but easily enough to do on one of the bikes or something. But you are currently missing the cruiser and one of the bikes, so you only have 3 bikes left if you're wanting to do something with that.
Who took the cruiser? I thought both.
That's what
of them.
that's what those
they've
two
been on the
took.
cruiser the whole time.
Yeah, that's what they took.
Oh god, okay. I fucking thought they took a bike.
I wished.
Where would they keep any prisoners they took? I presume there's some station that they, for the, why am I fucking blanking on what they're called? Marshals, Jesus. Is there some station for the marshals on planet?
The two brothers kind of grimace and say, well, the marshal station is on Zavir. If they're taking them to Agast, then they're taking them to Davith, which means they're going to Grimbrook. Grimbrook Hall is where Davith is based out of. And they can kind of show on a map of the local system. It's one of the central locations where all of the like exports go in and out, is through Grimbrook Hall. It's just the largest plantation on that part of the planet. Like, it takes almost like half a hemisphere worth of these farms that are all like contained under this one kind of super manor in the center of it.
Are there any dead zones near there?
I mean, there's plenty of farmland and stuff, but a lot of it's worked. So, you know, it's dead, not necessarily, depends on when you hit it.
Understood. Well, Captain, it seems our hand may be forced here.
Maybe we could try to intercept them before they get there. That seems like a heavy position. Dee Dee, could we put together anything with that cannon to stop a ship?
Dini kind of thought for a moment. It would have to be a focused shot, Captain. There's no way we could take something down, you know, that size with what we have, but if we hit them in some kind of weak spot, we could at least stop them from moving any farther away.
That's what I'm thinking. If we can find a way to use that big fucking thing to maybe hit them with something, stall them for a bit.
Mayhaps a crimson spore shot through the engines.
Yeah,
That would definitely do it.
Might also blow them up, though, and then we lose 3 of our crew members. Get to tinkering. I'm going to try to burn a bit of a lead so we can double in on them before they get to August, if we come up with something for that.
Aye, Captain.
The captain will start speeding up the engines a bit and moving a bit closer to the outer ring of the meteors on a intercept path for the Marshal ship, or its last known location at least.
I got the message ready.
Okay.
Ash is going to find his way over to a console to start putting in, again, this is going to be in text on basically like public broadcast, just to make sure that our ship can get to it. But it's going to say, "Hey, uncle-in-law, this is Ash. My joyride got in a pickle, and now we're headed to your place, the plantation on Agus. P.S. Our cook isn't feeling well."
Okay. That gets sent out, and you all over on the Soleil get the little pinging incoming message and see that message. And the captain goes, "Oh, well, yeah, they got caught."
Suppose it's at least confirmation they're alive.
She nods and goes, "Yeah, there's that, at least. Alright. I don't think we can let them get onto that world, or this gets a lot more complicated. We might be able to take out, one ship, but if it's us trying to break into, what was it, Grimbrook Hall, that's going to be a nightmare."
Agreed.
I don't think we'd be able to take it all on by ourselves.
Alright. Dee Dee, need a miracle. Come on, you're good at these. Make us something that can stop that ship. Preferably silence them, too, while we're at it.
Dee Dee kind of thought to herself for a moment. I can come up with something.
Well, we've got maybe 2 hours until they're too close to that planet for us to do anything about it. So the quicker the better. The further out they are, the better we can do. But let's get to work. You can take anyone you need.
What, Dee Dee kind of looked at the Broderick brothers again. Do you know what kind of engines the ships use?
They both know. Yeah, they're using elemental engines. I believe they're wind variant. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you can notice, and you've seen one of these Marshal ships before, or not? Have you? Yeah. No. Yes, one of them was on the camera. They have a distinct white glow to their engines instead of the red one, as they are powered by pressurized turbined air from air elementals.
And we want to silence them too. Okay.
All right. While Dee Dee gets to work on that, we'll flash back over to the Marshal ship. First off, what are you two doing in the cages right now?
Really weird question. Since we've been processed, is there anyone else besides like that one guard who is controlling the doors there? Or
there's a lot of people in the hold. This is probably where most of the marshals are kind of hanging out and stuff. A couple of them are still going over and inspecting the cruiser. But a couple others are just kind of shooting the shit, like hanging out and stuff like that. Everyone is obviously like paid well here and are pretty relaxed most of the time, as they don't usually have to deal with people fighting back against them. So they're mostly like just chill or stuff, but there's probably 6 or 7 marshals in this room at any given time, with 1 or 2 of them usually over by the desks, like close enough where you can overhear some of the conversation, but just nearby the cages.
Is there anyone else besides us in here?
Not in the cages.
Okay.
How bound up am I? Am I still able to walk around freely, or am I just handcuffed?
You can walk. Hands are handcuffed behind your back, though.
Oh, wonderful. So during all this time, Alwyn kind of looking at the different faces, trying to get a basic head count of how many people are actually on this boat.
Sure. Give me an insight check.
Insight.
I have an idea whenever you're
Ring,
ready.
ring. Come on, D&D. You said insight?
Yep.
Oh. It's gonna be a 16.
Okay. You get a pretty decent measure. Not everyone is passing through, as some people would be on duty doing other things aboard the ship, and you've only been here about 3 hours at this point. You do get a pretty decent count that there seems to be 13 marshals aboard the ship, and then 2 to 3 engineer or service crew members that you've noticed.
Alan's kind of nodding his head like, yeah, that's doable.
It's around this time that we are going to... I'll roll this in front of the board. You're getting processed, Hank, and we're going to see if your wanted poster is... You're getting processed, and the guy that is like at one of the terminals just kind of chatting with someone else is just kind of going through and like has your mugshot and everything, and is writing the notes of like resisted arrest and like verbal abuse of an officer and just a bunch of felonious charges that they can like note up for why you were detained. And there is the bulletin of those that were involved at the PAX incident nearby, set up to his desk there. And as he's filling out the information, he looks over from the posting and back at you, and his face kind of drops and his eyes go wide. He goes, Get that girl that he was with, quickly. He was one of the ones at PAX. And a bunch of marshals start moving out trying to find where Ashley went.
How many of them leave the room?
Looks like 4 of them leave the room, so there's 2 in here currently.
I'm gonna kick Alwyn and then say, give it about like 2 minutes and then we can deal with those 2. I'm gonna try and say this real quietly.
Yeah, well, your breath stinks too.
Okay, well, fuck you. Why'd you hit on my ass? My ass was fucking beautiful.
Ashley, you finish sending the message. You're still invisible on the bridge of the ship. You step away from the terminal and start to move like back towards the door, and a marshal runs in and says, "We've lost track of the girl that was with the guy, but he's one of the ones wanted for what happened on PAX. He shot he was the guy with the axe, hit our guy, And the Sarge kind of sits up and, "How did we lose her? Everyone, high alert, lock the ship down." And there is a red alarm that starts going off while you're in the bridge. Ashley, what are you doing?
I know where the engineering bay is, yeah?
You do.
Can I start heading there before everything gets too locked down?
You can certainly try. There are people in this room, and the door is currently closed into the bridge. Are you going to try to follow someone out again?
I have the key card, so I think I will wait until everyone is distracted with something else. Listen for the door to see if anyone's coming through, and if I think that no one is on the other side, I'm going to try to leave while everyone else is distracted.
So there will be people in this room kind of regardless. So
Yeah.
a couple of them will
I'm-
rush back out to try to start looking for you. And there will
Okay,
be
then
two
if
people
that-
left in here. The sergeant and one of the other marshals will stay in here and start looking through cameras just on ship.
The urge to fireball is strong, but I will resist. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll run out with other people who are running out, and then head to the engineering building.
Give me a stealth check with advantage because you're invisible.
Wow. Nat 20. And yeah, no one doesn't matter.
All right, nat 20. Yeah, you very easily find a place in between a couple of people exiting and follow them down. You see that the ship is completely in a buzz as all the marshals are checking. There's two in the break room searching for any sign of you. There's a couple that are leaving the bathroom and are reporting that you're not in there. But the ship is currently buzzing with people looking for you.
Yeah, I'm planning to hide in the engineering because no one could possibly expect me to be there. But also, I'm thinking that if there was anyone who would be easier to take down, it would be the engineers and not the marshals, which would also allow me to cause the ship more internal damage if necessary. On top of that, I am ready to, as soon as invisibility drops, I'm disguising self as Josh.
Okay. All right. So the ship enters red alert as Hank has been identified. The two of them are in cages as you make your way into engineering. The Soleil is breaking away from the asteroid field on an intercept course as Dee Dee desperately tries to get a weapon ready in time. And we will call it there for the night, folks.